The Roasters on YouTube and Twitch. Good morning, Spadoni. Great John Spadoni. He's on the board again as Langford is out. Curly somewhere running around with his head cut off. And Joe Shasky the Butcher's back. Shasky, how was your Friday off? How was your weekend? How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing a lot better than what the 49ers are looking at right now. I think me and the Warriors are doing a lot better than the 49ers right now. We've got a lot to unpack. I want to start here, though, because I want to have a little laugh at the beginning because there's not a lot to laugh about when it comes to the Niners. What happened to, basic common decency in America? Last night, first time ever, and I've seen people that do this on an airport. Last night, there was this couple, and they were a goofy-looking couple, and they had a little kid with them. And when the plane landed, they were in the very, 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 very back of the plane. They jumped up, grabbed all their stuff, and tried running to the front of the airplane as we're all sitting there waiting. And I couldn't contain myself. I was ready to kill this couple because it was the lack of respect for everyone around you. And what does the guy say as they're stuck in the aisle? Because everyone's stuck in an aisle when you're about to get off the plane.
Right, of course.
Everyone's waiting, right? It's wait your turn. He goes, I left my cell phone all the way in the back. And then he proceeds to go backwards with all of his luggage to go get his cell phone where his seat was.
And people are still setting it up, and he's just moving. Yeah, that's wild.
So then the lady that's with him and the kid, I'm assuming they're a couple with their kid. We have to have respect for others. And I said, because I couldn't help myself, my wife was ready to kill me. I literally said, that's an interesting concept. Contradict a little. Looking at him, and my wife's like, shut up. I wanted to kill this couple because people have no common decency anymore. I've got a lot of airplane etiquette that I want to get into. And by the way, American Airlines, fix your Wi-Fi for Christ's sake.
We're not going to rip airports today. We're not going to rip airlines and airports. Not going to do that. Not going to do that.
Wi-Fi should be free.
You never know. You know what? I don't mind the Wi-Fi not being on planes or not being free. Because I like to take some time off. Just give me a plane with the little TV and a headrest.
There are none anymore.
There are none.
It seems like United
American
has
Airlines,
them. The big planes have them. But
you're traveling to Phoenix, so it's just a quick flight. You don't
I
need
got my
one.
iPad.
Yeah, you don't need to just read a book. Read a book. Read a newspaper.
Books?
Read a newspaper.
I do audiobooks.
Yeah, get a magazine. You don't need to take time off. That's a perfect excuse.
Not on a
to take
football
time
Sunday.
Off.
I'm trying to watch the Warriors. I'm trying to watch the Rams.
Well, that's your fault. You're flying on a football Sunday.
That's another discussion with me and my wife.
That's your problem. That's
Airplane
your problem.
etiquette. Let me just say this right now.
Chivalry's been dead.
Figure it out, people.
Chivalry's been dead.
But why? We can't have any respect for others?
No.
I know you do. I'm just saying, in general, it makes me sick. Though I've seen people get up. I've never seen someone try to run to the front the way they did. Oh, it was disgusting.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's get back into the Niners.
What were they? Were they white people, black people, Mexican?
What do you think they were?
They were white people.
Of course, they were white people. Of course they were.
Oh, all right. You want to laugh again?
Oh my
Let's
God.
laugh at the 49ers. Let's laugh at the 49ers for a day.
Yeah.
I mean, look. I threw a poll up last night.
Where do we even begin?
I don't know where we begin. I threw a poll. Let's start here.
Okay.
I threw a poll up last night on Twitter just for
I'm surprised we're smiling.
That's
why I had to throw the airplane story
Hey, look. City College of San Francisco smokes East LA.
Oh.
The last chance U team. Beat them by damn near 30.
Yeah.
Beat them by damn near 30.
Shout out Rams. Jimmy Collins.
The Warriors roll against the Rockets. They're now 4-1 on this homestand. They got the Hawks tonight against, Trey Young and company. Going to be a fun
excited
game.
for that one.
Excited for that one.
John Collins?
So last night I threw a poll up.
Oh.
I said,
on Twitter?
Where do we on Twitter?
Yeah, at Bonte Hill.
At Bonte Hill, you follow at your own risk. So, what are we discussing tomorrow on the Morning Roast?
Yeah, what are we?
49ers. Warriors. Sharkies.
Oh, yeah.
Cal Stanford football.
Sure. I was at the Cal game.
I know. That was worse than the Redbox Bowl.
Well, we'll get into that second.
Well, they both scored 13 points. Redbox Bowl, Michigan State, Oregon, it was 7-6. Cal, Arizona, Cal loses 10-3.
So we're here at 6:11. I'm going to give you my 30 seconds on the Sharks. I cannot believe William Eklund got sent back to Sweden. This is ridiculous. How cheap are the Sharks? Keep this guy here. Like, what are we doing? They don't want to start his clock too early because if he plays 10 games, he can't be with the big club. He's the best passer on the team. Okay, there concludes my Sharks talk.
I thought you were giving me 30 seconds.
Not 14.
All right, they're fourth in the Pacific right now.
Yeah, but William Eklund is like a 19-year-old superstar that they drafted in the top 10 this year.
Yeah.
And basically they relegated or sent him back to Sweden because they don't want his clock to start. It's like the equivalent of the Chris Bryant thing. We're going to suppress your contract.
Sharkies now 6-4-1. 13 points on the season, fourth in the Pacific Division. Edmonton right now at first place, and Connor McDavid has some sick goal against the Rangers the other night. It was sick with through the entire defense. I saw the highlight there. 3% Sharkies. 3% Cal Stanford football because Cal loses to Arizona 10-3. Stafford loses Friday night to Utah 52-7.
So I'll give you 3% on both those. Stanford, you suck. Cal, that was the worst game. I mean, I've been to some really offensive inept games. I sat in 95-degree heat. My wife almost passed out. Sweet stadium. And then during the middle of it.
That is a nice stadium.
It's a cool stadium.
There. Yeah, I like it.
It's a really cool stadium.
I haven't been there since it's been renovated. They renovated it.
Basically, imagine like an old concrete slab stadium with a bunch of new stuff built on top of it.
Exactly.
Now, I'm out in where the commoners are in the 125-degree heat in the desert.
With the metal bleachers. They had the metal bleachers.
I look on Twitter, and Roxy Bernstein, our friend of the show, is doing the play-by-play.
Poor him.
With Lindsey Kennedy.
At least he got paid to be there.
Yeah, and
he should have been paid double.
Well, I wanted to go up into the booth and get a little AC and maybe some free food, but neither here nor there. Arizona, good for them. They snapped the streak. I am the reason that they snapped the streak because when I go to games, teams win. So haven't been to some Niner games in a while.
Check this out with the Stafford game.
Yeah.
And this is funny.
Punt.
Stafford.
There was 50 kids out for Cal on COVID.
50 kids out? Wait, no.
There was 25, literally 25.
25 kids
They were
out
missing
for
guard, center, guard. They were missing their quarterback. They were missing their best running back, wide receivers. It was a nightmare. And then, this is the best, the Arizona team was down to their third-string quarterback, and then at times, because he got knocked out of the game and then came back,
they had the fourth-string.
They had a non-scholarship quarterback out there who walked on. They literally had invincible tryouts for the team. Jeez. I'm not kidding. They sent emails out to freshmen, if you want to try out for Arizona football, show up on Tuesday at 3 o'clock. I can't even make this up.
So Stafford and Cal, right? Or Stafford against Utah Friday night. First half, they're down 38-0. They out yardaged. Check out the yardage discrepancy here.
I saw a 90-something yard run Friday night.
440 yards.
Tequila.
First half numbers here. 440 yards for Utah. 440 for Utah in the first half. 28 for Stafford.
Go Utes.
28 yards in the first half for Stafford. 440. So that only got 3% of the vote.
Okay.
3% of the vote.
And we gave it 3% of our time today on the roast.
Right. So
what
3%
are the other two?
for Sharkies, 3% for Cal Stanford football.
Okay. We gave you your college football minute. We've given you your hockey minute.
Here's the big one. Warriors and Niners.
The Warriors.
54% of the people said talk Warriors. 40% said talk 49ers.
Okay. So let's start with the Warriors.
So you want to start with the Warriors?
Because I got a lot of Niners.
Is it a monster?
Ridiculous.
Is it a monster Monday or is it a tell the truth Monday? Because we got some truth serums here about the 49ers today.
I'm with you on that. Boy, it's funny. I feel like Steph is quote unquote slumping, and what is he averaging? 25-7-7.
Yeah.
The team's 8-1, but we really haven't had that signature Steph like explosion.
Outside of the Clippers game.
Yes, you're right. Excuse me, you're right.
Outside of the Clippers game. No, he's shot. Not like Steph.
No, but Jordan Poole stepped up in the last couple of games. Otto Porter had a nice game yesterday. To me, the first 9 games of the year, Draymond Green, man, I feel like Draymond Green looks like a totally rejuvenated player, and I'm falling back in love with Draymond again.
Yeah, look at you. You're easily won back over. And I'm proud of you, buddy.
Play the Al Green.
I'm proud of you, buddy. Jordan Poole. 3 straight monster games for him. How about GP2? Gary Payton II is now still in the show. He is stealing the show for the Golden State Warriors. GP2 there. He's been phenomenal. He gets his hands on the ball.
Yeah.
Even when he makes a bad play, bad pass offensively, he gets back on defense, pokes one out, starts a break. That 20-3 run in the third quarter yesterday, that was old Warriors right there. Bielitsa getting in on the action yesterday, bombing some threes. And then for the second straight night, or heck, the third straight night, it was an ice and chill fourth quarter for the Warriors. An ice and chill fourth quarter for the Golden State Warriors as they roll over the Rockets yesterday. Look, Rockets have a lot of young talent. They play hard. They've hung around some big boy teams so far this season, but they just don't have enough. The Warriors are the story here in the Bay. They are the story. I mean, Steph Curry, 27 minutes. He's not playing heavy minutes right now.
No, it's great.
He
had foul trouble yesterday. And him and Draymond, I think Poole, too. Did they all have 3 in the second?
They all had 3. Green, Curry, Poole. They were ending the first half with Chiroza on the court. Chiozza on the court.
My Chiroza.
Chiozza on the court. So, like, Tony Brothers. I mean, like.
Did you know that reference?
No.
Oh.
What is that reference?
Oh, forget it.
No, say it, because you and Spinoni looked at each other and we laughed.
What are you talking about?
It's a song. We'll play
what
it
song
for you.
is that song? What is the song?
What is the exact word that they say? My what? Sharona. Okay. I didn't want to. I did not want to swear first thing in the morning. I know Weird Al
Sharona's
Yankovic did a remix to it. He's gonna pull it up. You'll hear.
Right. Sharona's a name.
Yeah.
Okay. I had never heard of it. Yeah, I didn't get that one.
That's okay.
Just like I don't get
you. Got to Google it.
Like I don't get
Early 80s MTV, baby.
Yeah, I wasn't in on that one. But no, Otto Porter Jr. with the 3 straight threes in the first half. That was pretty special.
Yeah.
Tony Brothers was just blowing the whistle, the blow the whistle.
Is he the worst?
They call him, word on the street is they call him catfish. He looks just like a catfish.
That's not nice.
That's not nice at all.
That's not nice. I'm not going to laugh at that.
Why not? You're not going to laugh at that? What are you going to laugh at? You want to laugh at the 49ers?
I mean, the Niners.
You want to laugh at the 49ers?
The Niners looked so bad yesterday.
Curly, are you laughing at the 49ers? Where's Curly at? Do you want to talk Niners or Warriors today? Let me know. Where do you want to go? 888-957-9570. It's quote-unquote a Monster Monday.
Can I start here?
But I think it's a truth. I think we just need to tell the truth about this football team.
I'm going to start right here. Cliff Kingsbury deserves an apology from people in the Bay Area. Cliff Kingsbury absolutely dismantled the San Francisco 49ers.
He undressed Shanahan.
What?
He undressed Shanahan.
And D'Amico Ryans.
Undressed everybody.
And Fred Warner. And Nick Bosa. They had this team guessing. By the way, the Niners are, I think they're 3rd in pass defense. Yeah, because all of the real yardage they give up is via the penalty in the pass. They are the 28th or 29th ranked team, depending on what happened in the Sunday night game, in stopping the run this year. Bonte, they can't stop a nosebleed, let alone stuff a runner. It is so bad. James Conner looked like Eric Dickerson meets, Earl Campbell yesterday? It was unbelievable. He was catching swing passes with one hand. He was truck sticking people. He was running by people. There were times they were like trying to blow him. They weren't even getting close to touching him. Like literally, he ran right through them.
If you can,
awesome.
Spadoni, get the truck stick on Eno Benjamin when he truck stick Drake Kirkpatrick. Kevin Cougar was like, wow, he trucks Drake Kirkpatrick. Watching that in person, I said, wait a minute. I did that on that this morning with Kareem Hunt in the New York Jets.
Right analog up?
Right analog up. Boom. I was like, you never really see that in the NFL.
Colt McCoy, ex-49er, 3rd-round draft pick for the Browns, who was 8-22 heading into that game, with 28 touchdowns and 30 picks, or whatever the hell it was, went in there and looked like Kurt Warner with the Arizona Cardinals. It was unreal. They got completely dismantled, really they should have scored 40.
Is anybody mad at the Niners right now? Anybody mad? Like, I saw a lot of angry people last night. I was just kind of like, there's nothing to be angry about.
No
it's
DeAndre.
Not a good football team.
I'm angry.
It's not a good
no
football
DeAndre,
team.
no AJ Green, no Kyler Murray.
I'm not angry.
No JJ Watt. I mean,
I'm not angry. It's not a good football team. I'm not going to lose brain cells over a bad football team.
Hey, Brandon Aiyuk played good.
About time. You know why? Because he had a face-to-face with Kyle Shanahan, and I think that locker room, something's up in that locker room when it comes to that.
What do you mean?
What I mean is that the fact that Shanahan and Aiyuk had words. Because they were getting on him about practice and, going hard in practice and There could be some friction there.
Oh, Shanahan, practice. You got to practice. You know what happened? You had a great week of practice. Then you got your ass kicked on Sunday. Stop talking about practice, Shanahan. You know what you should practice? Practice dialing something up that stops the other team. Why don't you practice, I don't know, using your right guard to actually not be a blocking sled machine and getting absolutely turnstile on every single play. Practice. We got practice. I'm just so sick of practice. Show up on game day. I'm sick of hearing about practice. This team doesn't show up
who practices
on Sunday.
Well? You know who practices?
Sick of it.
You know we practices well?
Practice.
The Warriors practice well.
Brandon Aiyuk's not practicing well. Well, guess what?
Hey.
You're a great team Monday through Saturday, but on Sunday, we don't know who shows up.
The Warriors practice well. Warriors practice well. Translate into the games.
He's not practicing hard.
Translate into the games. How about Benjamin? How about this play? Kevin Kugler, listen to this.
On 2nd and 5, this is Benjamin. A little hop step, and he trucked Dre Kirkpatrick and takes it in for the touchdown. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, man. Hey, I was ready to leave right then and
when
there.
When did you leave?
I left when Arizona got a first down around the 6-minute mark. And I say, they're going to run this clock down to 3 minutes. Let's just get out of here.
And look,
let's get out of here.
I thought Jimmy was fine yesterday. Like, whatever.
Jimmy was fine.
But I can understand the microcosm of Jimmy Garoppolo being rolled back. Like, I get all that. We can get into that metaphor.
Let me say this.
Okay.
I was at that game. I watched the game over.
Yeah, Jimmy looked fine.
There was not at one point of that game yesterday that I say, you know what? It'd be good to see Trey Lance today. I think you needed to see Trey Lance. It's like, for what? For who? Like, for what?
No, he's not.
For what?
He's not the problem. But
Jimmy wasn't the problem for 2 straight weeks.
But will you at least grant me this? And I agree with you. No, Jimmy was. I thought Jimmy was good to whatever, above average. He wasn't great, but he was good. He was good. But wouldn't you give me this? The metaphor of Jimmy Garoppolo coming back into this year and knowing that there's a dead end at the end of that road. It's kind of a metaphor for the entire team right now because they feel very directionless and very
no direction, no leadership.
No leadership at all.
No leadership at all on this football team. There's no leadership on the football team, on the field.
No accountability.
Look, Fred Warner.
I thought we had a great week of practice.
Can I say this about Fred Warner Jr.?
Delusional.
Can I say this about Fred Warner Jr.? I love Fred Warner Jr.
Yeah.
Got chopped it up with him a little bit at the Giants Dodgers game 1. Sat right behind me. Cool, go down to Arizona, whatever. Jonathan in San Francisco is right. We should never, at least for now, never mention Fred Warner Jr. in the same sentence as Patrick Willis and Navarro Bowman. Let's just stop that right now. Let's stop that right now. I don't want to hear Fred Warner Jr. in the same sentence as Patrick Willis and Navarro Bowman. I don't even want to hear him in the same sentence as Gary Plummer or Lee Woodall. All right? You ain't done nothing yet. You got the big contract, and he hasn't showed up this year. You don't fall on the fumble there. Fumble's right there.
It went right through his hands.
You got to make plays.
I couldn't believe he didn't make that play.
He's not making tackles. He's not filling gaps.
He's missing the gap, yes.
Pass coverage.
Yes.
He's getting beaten pass coverage. He's getting lost in space. I don't want to hear Fred Warner Jr.'s name in the same sentence as Patrick Willis and Navarro Bowman for the rest of the year. All right? Just stop it. For the rest of the year, I don't want to hear it. Colt McCoy, 22 of 26, 249 yards and a touchdown.
Christian Kirk also dominates the Niners.
Christian Kirk dominates.
How about
the deep ball from
if I see
Colt
another
McCoy?
Josh Norman, if I see another Josh Norman snap the rest of the year,
well,
I don't even care. I don't ever want to see him on the Niners.
It's a Tell the Truth Monday.
Yeah,
we're going to tell the truth about this football team.
That guy.
The DBs aren't good.
What an idiot.
The linebackers aren't good. The defensive line's not good. The offensive line's not good. The receivers are inconsistent. The tight end's barely on the field. The quarterback's inconsistent. The coaching has been awful this year. The coaching gets an F. You go against Colt McCoy without DeAndre Hopkins, and you get lit up like a Christmas tree. You got lit up yesterday, Levi's. And now the 49ers, 888-957-9570. Durf and Fred, we're going to get you on the other side here. 49ers haven't won a home game in 385 days. Meanwhile, the Warriors are rolling right now, 4-1 on an 8-game homestand. They take on the Hawks today. They're 8-1. 8-1. Why would we just spend our time on the Warriors? Anybody out there want to spend time talking about the 49ers to start off the week? I kind of want to start off the week good, and that's talking Warriors. Let's talk City College of San Francisco men's basketball. How about City College of San Francisco football? They're going to play San Mateo this week. How about we talk about Sacred Heart Cathedral, who made the CCS playoffs? How about SI? Anybody but those lousy-ass 49ers. They're lousy. Lousy. Game day tip-off at 7 p.m. Warriors Live starts at 5:30, presented by Xfinity Sports. Xfinity Sports Zone, I should say. The ultimate sports hub experience. What's coming up in the game brought to you by the Golden State Warriors. Should we go back to the Niners? I don't know. You guys make the call. The listeners out there on the roadways, at home, getting ready for work, you make the call. 888-957-9570. I'm here to talk about whatever you want to talk about. Because you know what? Talking about the 49ers ain't good for my mentals right now.
The Warriors homestand continues this week as the Dubs host.
Chioza?
I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. Well, how about this play right here? Arizona set the tone in the first
I love
quarter.
you, Spadoni.
Cardinals lose a challenge. It's first down and goal. Driving into the end zone. It's a touchdown for James Conner. His second of the first half. His 10th of the season. And the Cardinals are up 13-0.
I mean, they set the tone. The Cardinals went into Levi Stadium and set the tone and punked the 49ers. Punked them. All right? Punked them. All right? The wide receiver, Christian Kirk, throwing a bomb down the field.
No, okay, so Armstead
great.
gets a sack. Armstead gets a sack and grazes the helmet of Colt McCoy. Colt McCoy does his best James Harden impression, turns to the refs like, oh, my helmet. And then they throw a flag and they say, we all agree, by the letter of the law, yeah, he touched the helmet area. Kind of got
it's a flag.
Yeah, it's a flag. It's not a 15-yard flag, but whatever. Because of the rules,
today.
It is.
Yeah, that's a flag.
Point being, Shanahan's losing his mind, which I was too, losing his mind on the sideline. Kingsbury, they flash to him, and he's kind of like smiling, and they run an end around to Christian Kirk, and he throws deep. They smelt blood in the water and made the most of all of their opportunities. Kittle fumbles, they score. Aiyuk fumbles, they score. Guys, it's very simple. The Niners are an injury-plagued, turnover-plagued team that's banged up and hurt and turns it over left and right and doesn't make the most of opportunities when they present themselves. The Cardinals, on the other hand, look like a team that has 1,000% faith in their head coach. That looked like a united team yesterday.
They are a united team, and that's why they're 8-1. And that's why they're Super Bowl contenders. That's why they're atop the NFC West. Because they mean business. They're 5-0 on the road, and they went into Levi Stadium without Kyler Murray, without DeAndre Hopkins, and they put it on the 49ers. Again, Colt McCoy, 22 of 26, 249 yards, and a touchdown. Yeah, they kept the simple form at times. A lot of screen plays, a lot of quick stuff. But you know what? He made the most of his opportunities. That end-around play design was beautiful. Beautiful. Fake handoff. In around to Kirk. He comes around, and I saw it. I was like, oh, my gosh, he's wide open.
And it was a dime.
And it was an absolute dime. So the whole Eric Armstead play, Niners were down 7-0 at that point. Yeah, the Arizona would have went out and putt. You know what? That's a flag. That's a flag. If that happened to the 49ers quarterback, we would have all been doing a flag motion. Give us a flag. I got no qualms about that.
It was a flag, but here's my bigger issue. Is like, it was 3rd and 18 or whatever the hell it was, 4th and 18, whatever it ended up being, and you get a 15-yard automatic play. Like, there's a lot in the rule book that I just have issues with. But that's not why they lost. We could throw that to the side. I agree. By the letter of the law, it is a flag. The bigger thing is it's the turnovers. You know what their differential is this year?
What are they, minus... what are they now? Minus 12?
Minus 9. Minus 9, which is one of the league worst.
I'm actually surprised that it's only minus 9.
Do you know what they are during the Shanahan era since 2017?
Oh, boy. I'm scared.
They are the worst in the NFL since 2017. A minus 44. Who do you think the next closest team is?
They're a minus 44? Because in 2019... they were like plus 20.
I have it right here. So 2017 minus 3, 2018 minus 25, 2019 plus 4.
That's it, plus 4, 2019?
Jimmy fumbled a lot. People don't want to. They touchdown to interceptions, but they never want to talk about the fumbles.
You don't want to get me started, dude.
2020 minus 11, and 2021 on pace again, baby, minus 9. So who do you think in the Shanahan era since 2017? The Niners are minus 44 in turnover differential.
Wow.
The next closest team, the Bengals and the Raiders at minus 33 and minus 32. The Niners aren't just bad when it comes to turning the ball over. They're historically bad, and they are significantly worse than any other team in the league at it. It's kind of remarkable.
You know what Baldy said?
Huh?
Baldy said about that? He said that's on coaching. When you turn the ball over, that's on coaching.
And it's all your studs doing it.
You got to take care of the football. The fact that they're running DB drills in week 6 and week 7 on how to track the ball in the air, that's a training camp drill. This is a bad staff. This is a bad staff.
Could you imagine?
Like, everybody wants to go dump on and say, fire DeMeco Ryans. He's a first-year defensive coordinator. You knew there would be lumps. This, to me, was the first letdown game by the defense all year. This was a bad. Well, I guess we got to throw the Colts game in there in the monsoon. That was pretty bad.
Three bad teams, and they've looked like crap against pretty much everybody else.
They've been bad.
I mean,
they've been bad. I want to go to the lines, man. The lines are lit up right now. I want to
I'll
hear
make
from
a point
the
in a
feds.
second. That's fine.
Fred in Richmond. Fred,
hey, Fred.
what's happening?
What's going on, y'all? Appreciate the call. I'm on some positive and negative vibes right now. It is officially time to put Shanahan on the hot seat. But on a positive note, JP3, Jordan Poole, I'm really feeling his vibes, his game. I can't wait for the Warriors to go on the road to see if it could carry on the road. Before the season started, I called him my most improved player of the year, and right now it's sounding like I'm kind of validated, but like I said, I need to see him on the road. I can't wait until this homestand is over so they can take the game on the road and see what's popping with JP3. I'm happy for Gary Payton III. It's real good to see all the young players actually contributing. No one should worry about what Steph Curry is doing right now.
Right.
He is just cruising because this is dog years right now in the season right now.
No doubt.
He just wants Steph to stay healthy, Draymond to stay healthy, and Klay Thompson is looking amazing. I hope they don't rush him back.
Nah, they won't.
Positive
No, they won't.
vibes. Screw the Niners.
Positive.
Let's talk about the Warriors for the rest
Fred.
of
Fred, I'm with you here. Positive vibes. You want some positive vibes? How about the Warriors with the best record in basketball?
Yeah.
First in net rating, first in points, first in defense, first in threes, first in assists.
Wow.
Third in rebounds. Not bad for a small team, right?
Third in rebounds. That's surprising.
Third in steals.
Oh.
Third in field goal percentage.
Oh.
Second in three-point percentage.
Oh, wow.
Second in field goal percentage allowed. And third and three-point percentage allowed. Those are good vibes. That's positivity right there.
As we go down like the late 70s, early 80s rabbit hole, there's a song by Paul Simon called Train in the Distance. Train in the Distance.
Yeah, I wouldn't know nothing
Doesn't
about
it feel
that.
like both teams are just going in opposite directions on a train going like 700 miles an hour?
Warriors are thinking championship. You know why? Because they've won championships. The 49ers are posers who act like they've won championships. They got the one season in 2019 and think they're all fat and cocky and think their stuff don't stink. That's what it is. They think they're championship worthy. They're not. I was duped, as a lot of us was duped. We thought this team was postseason material.
I said 9-8, 8-9, and that feels like maybe I'm way off. Right?
I look, they have talent to be 12-5.
But do they?
They have talent.
Do they? Because I'm looking at that team yesterday on defense, and I'm saying this personnel-wise is one of the worst defenses that you could assemble. I mean, you're missing.
Well,
I know you're missing
a lot
Ward
of
and Tart,
guys.
but like your corners are god awful.
Missing Verrett. You're
Yeah,
not
but I
playing
knew Verrett was gonna. Like Verrett was like a
Right.
flyer to me.
But you know what though? You're not playing Diamador Lenore for some reason.
Yeah, I don't know what's
You're
going
not
on.
playing
there.
Ambry Thomas. You might as well play the guys.
Well, Ambry Thomas clearly, if he's this bad, he can't get in front of Drake Kirkpatrick.
I know. And
What
Josh
a horrible
Norman,
pick.
And Josh Norman.
Josh
the defensive line is in shambles right now.
Yes.
Javon Kinlaw doesn't help.
Nope.
Your linebacking core with Drake Greenlaw
Ibukam
out.
stinks.
What I tell
What a terrible $6 million.
What Ibukam?
You were so right.
It's awful.
Oh, but PFF said he had 6 pressures last week.
Ibukam he's made 2 plays in the Chicago game. All right? He was MIA yesterday.
Yeah, he's
He was
terrible.
at a milk carton.
Yeah.
And you know what teams are doing to number 97, Nick Bosa?
Yeah.
They're running right at him.
I noticed that.
They don't even respect him.
Or allowing him a free release and throwing
Yep.
the screen game right
all
in his
day
area.
long.
Yeah.
All day long.
They did a great job yesterday of recognizing the blitz pre-snap and throwing the ball right there. Oh, you're going to bring the blitz over here? I'm going to throw it right over here. Cliff Kingsbury was in his bag yesterday.
So Diamador Lenore, congratulations to him. He's a father.
Oh.
His wife had a baby the other day, and I know that's why
I
he
thought
left
that's why he missed
Chicago
the game last week.
Yeah, I know. I guess sometimes labor, man. You never know.
Okay.
You never know. These babies want to chill for a
Congratulations.
little bit. Sometimes they want to pop right out. Sometimes they want to chill for an extra week.
You know that Levi Stadium is now the home of a 9-game losing streak and an 11-game losing streak.
9-game losing streak and 11-game losing streak?
Yeah.
Not 5, not 6.
They've lost
not
9
7.
straight home games, and they've lost 11 straight during 16 and 17.
Gotcha.
I mean, you want to talk about no home field advantage.
Oh, what are you talking about? Well, because they went to Arizona?
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, we're throwing that
so
in
they
there,
lost,
too.
throwing that in there. So the 11, yeah. Well, I mean, 385 days since they won a game at Levi Stadium.
And you could blame the stadium, and I'll listen to some of that critique. But I mean, come on, guys, can someone step up and make a play? George Kittle fumbling on that drive. I was just like, I get it. He's trying to make a play, but Jesus criminy, can our best players make plays and hold on to the rock?
This segment is presented by Golden State Lumber, lumber and building materials for professional builders and contractors throughout Northern California. Visit goldenstatelumber.com. The segment was also brought to you by Fremont Bank, full-service banking, no compromises. Adam, Megan, Josh, Antonio. See you on hold. We'll get you on the other side here on The Roast.
At LensCrafters, we value expertly tailored.
Isaiah Simmons, one-on-one.
Garoppolo looking at the back of the end zone. Jump ball. Oh, it's caught! Brandon Aiyuk leaping up to pull it in for 6.
Now, back to the Morning Roast, presented by Timeless Coffee with Bonte and Shasky.
Shout out to Timeless Coffee this morning, getting us started off right this week. Timeless Coffee, go to one of their 3 locations in the East Bay. Also, Trumer Pills, man. Shout out to Trumer Pills. Yeah. Hooking your boy up. They hooked you up.
What you gonna do when you straight up flop? That's what the Niners should be telling themselves this morning.
I was going to say something about
No,
Trumer
I'm
Pills.
just so sad.
You got the 12-pack. All right, hold on. Say your thought. Whoa. You're red. Hey, take a deep breath.
This team's driving me nuts.
No, why?
And shout out Troomers. Shout out.
Whoa.
Timeless.
Brendan Aiyuk, that was a positive.
Oh.
Think about that.
Yeah.
Kevin Cooler makes a touchdown call for Fox Sports. Brendan Aiyuk in his first 6 games. 16 targets, 9 catches, 96 yards, and a touchdown.
His team.
His last 2 games, 15 targets, 10 receptions, 134 yards, and a touchdown. So Brendan Aiyuk has turned his season around. Well, Don't be so mad.
No. This is I think this is a great microcosm for where the 49ers are at. The 49ers and all of their minions. There's a lot of minions out there.
Minions? What do you mean?
The minions like I call it the people that are mouthpieces for the organization.
Oh.
The minions.
Oh.
The 49ers and their minions wanted to tell people, Brandon Aiyuk, maybe he's just not that good, And it's a microcosm for everything going on down in Santa Clara.
Well,
stop telling me that this is filet mignon when I know it's bologna. They sell me bologna year after year after year after
sells
year.
You bologna?
Everything. It's always
the 49ers
bologna.
Or the minions?
Oh, we're all on the same page. Oh, Jimmy Garoppolo has just been outstanding in practice.
Who are you talking about right now?
Trey Lance just isn't ready.
I don't even know who you're talking
balling.
about.
It's always these narratives. They sell the fan base.
Who sells the narratives?
Just the media mouthpieces.
No.
The 49ers have media members.
No, we're not doing that.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying the independent media members. I'm talking about the 49ers teams themselves. Different representatives from the actual organization who collect their paycheck from the organization. I'm not talking about media like you and me or people that write about the team for an independent paper. I'm not talking about them. I'm saying that the way the 49ers have operated.
Well, what do you expect from team employees?
I'm
going to talk about the team in a positive light.
Stop insulting my intelligence is what I would tell them. All right? This fan base is a little smarter than they give it credit for. All right? You raised our ticket prices. No, I'm really ticked off about this. They raised our ticket prices. Now I understand. The cost of goods is going up in general in America. All right? Have you seen what's going on with some of the deliveries into this country when it comes to the tariffs and things that are coming out of China? I get it.
I got to slip this in from Oscar DPA on the text line. Jet York needs to get a priest and perform an exorcism on Levi Stadium.
Yeah, Midnight Mass, that show on Netflix.
Organized
down with that. I'm telling you right now, nothing's going right now for the Niners.
Oh,
they could tell me all.
Aiyuk. He's playing better.
Great. Brandon Aiyuk should be playing better, okay? He should. He's a first-round talent in his second year. I'm glad that he's playing good. We all knew that there was a player somewhere in there. Throw him the ball. Damn, it's crazy what happens when he actually gets looks, right? Mohamed Sanu is going to be a terrible player at 32 years old after no one signed him last year in the NFL. Elijah Mitchell gets 6-7 touches in the game total. What are we doing?
Well,
this team is a disaster.
Well, Shasky, they were down 17-0.
They were in that game in the third quarter. Run the ball.
No, they weren't.
They were down 17. You're still in that game.
They got the ball. Arizona received the second half kickoff.
I know.
Right down the field. You're down 24-7.
Believe me, I know that. You're still in that game.
You're still in that game down 24-7. They weren't in that game.
Yes, they were.
They weren't in that game.
They went 3 and out on the next possession.
Did you really believe they were in that game?
You
didn't believe that.
There was 13 minutes left in the third.
The game was over mid-second quarter.
That's the...
Don't see, now that's baloney.
No, it's not.
Don't sell that
it's not.
Don't sell that to our roasters, Shasky.
When I watch Jimmy, and it's not just him.
Hold on, time out. I'm calling 20. Did you really believe, and don't lie to our roasters on Twitch and YouTube, that when they were down 17-0, they were still in the game?
Oh, yeah, of course. I was like, score a touchdown, you're down 17-7.
Okay,
I'm optimistic.
And then they come out in the second half.
And then they gave up 3 plays, boom, touchdown.
Yeah, so did
but
you think they were still in that game? Get
a couple stops.
Did you really believe they were still in that game?
Yes, I did. There's 13 minutes to go in the third quarter.
I could sell you, man. You know
and then Jimmy Garoppolo.
Let me show you this cracked, sparkling water that I got from the house. Can I sell you this?
Look.
I can sell you anything if you thought they were in that game. That game was over, Shasky.
No, it was
Let
not.
me tell you why the game was over at halftime. I'm going to tell you why the game was over at halftime. 17-0. the 49ers have the ball before the 2-minute warning. And I'm saying to myself, well, there's 3 timeouts on the board. All right? Arizona receives the second half kickoff. If you score quickly, Arizona and Kingsbury, they're probably going to play it safe with Colt McCoy. You burn the timeouts and you get another possession before halftime. Lack of sense of urgency.
This is exactly where I'm going.
Before halftime. And Shasky, we've had this discussion since the Super Bowl. It's been happening since the Super Bowl. Matter of fact, hasn't even been happening since the Super Bowl.
No, it happened before that.
Happened in the Baltimore Ravens game, because I remember with Steiny and Guru, we were talking about it. We were talking about it, like
the home Seattle
lack
game.
of sense of urgency before halftime to get points on the board and maximizing your possessions. That's why I thought that game, you're down 17-0. In my mind, I said, this game is over. I just want to see how it's going to end. How is the implosion going to play out here? And it played out in the worst. Like, Eno, can we play the Eno Benjamin truck stick? This is what the Cardinals did to the 49ers yesterday. This is what they did to the Niners at Levi Stadium.
On 2nd and 5, this is Eno Benjamin. A little hop step, and he trucked Dre Kirkpatrick and takes it in for the touchdown.
Oh my God. Oh my goodness.
The sense
Did you hear the contact at the line of scrimmage? They pumped the Niners right off the play, the beginning of the cut, Spinoni.
On 2nd and 5.
Dude,
they're getting crushed at the line of scrimmage. But it's not just that.
Manhandled.
Can I see a little bit of life?
So you talk about they're in the game. No, they're winning no football game.
Just allow me a second. There's 13 minutes to go, and Jimmy's walking up to the line like they're up 14 points. Like, hey, we're just gonna milk this bad boy. Dear God, can you run a no huddle? Can you? You've been with the team for 5 years, Jimmy. Can you run a no huddle? Can you show me a little life? Like, let's go, guys. Let's go. Can you throw the ball from goal line into the actual end zone? Can you just take a shot into the end zone, for Christ's sake? Just one time. Throw it downfield, for crying out loud. This team is just like little paper cut here, little nick here. They never want to pull out the knife and slice someone's head off. Just throw the ball down the damn field. It's driving me completely insane. And then when the playmakers finally get the ball, this is the thing. I will cape up for the playmakers. Debo, look, he's got the drops. We know it, all right? We know Kittle fumbled the ball. We know Aiyuk fumbled the ball. When they know there's only so many opportunities to make plays, every one of these guys, because anyone who's played sports knows this, you get the ball in your hands like, I got to make a play. I don't know when the next time I'm going to get it, especially someone like Aiyuk. Like, every time he touches it, he's looking over his shoulder because he might be in the doghouse because Shanahan's ready to throw him in there like he's Snoopy.
Well, Shanahan
every
got
other play.
cursed out by Aiyuk during the bye week.
Well, so good. I'm glad that Aiyuk stood up for himself.
Aiyuk stood up for himself.
But Bonte, every single time, and it was a great play by Byron Murphy, but like every single time one of these guys makes a play, they're looking to make a bigger play. You know why? Because they have no idea when the next time their number is going to be called. And I don't blame these guys.
Let's go to Adam in D.C.
Offense is just, it's so predictable.
Adam in D.C.
This team stinks.
And you thought they were still in the game, down 17-0.
Guys, man.
What's up? Hey, sorry about that, Adam. I'm speaking right over you. What's going on?
Listen, man, I grew up a San Fran fan, right? But I'm from D.C.
Okay.
And around the age of 19, I went to a Cowboy race of Skins game, and it was a big snowball fight between us and the Cowboys fans. I absolutely hate Cowboys fans. And I kind of converted over, right? So the last 15 years, I've been kind of watching both teams. Well, they both suck right now, but I want to come back home. So I want to ask you guys, am I allowed to leave my home team alone and come back to San Fran?
Hey,
am I allowed to do that, guys?
You're allowed to say it if you drop the San Fran. Do not ever say San Fran again, Adam, all right? We've got to go. And thanks for the call. You're allowed to come back as long as you drop the San Fran and keep that in D.C.
And be like, Jimmy was really good yesterday, but it's the team as a whole, and it comes from the head coach and the quarterback. So that's why I'm saying the lack of sense of urgency just in general all year. Here, there's like 10 seconds to go in a quarter, right? And Arizona's scrambling, and instead they go up there and they're going to do I hate it. It's called fake toughness. Hut before the quarter. Run a damn play. It's 2nd and 3. You know what the Cardinals did? They were like 3rd and 1. They huddled up. They got to the line, and Colt McCoy ran a quarterback sneak because the Niners are like, I don't know. Should we have Josh Norman's corpse out on the end, or should it be Drake Kirkpatrick's? Where should we line up? Colt McCoy got a first down. This team sucks.
I refuse to be worked up about this football team. I'm not going to do it today.
I'm sick of spending the money that I spend on this team and putting my energy and love into this squad when they don't love me back.
Oh, they love you.
No, they don't.
love your money. Look at you. You're decked out in 49ers gear. Oh, they love you.
Give me a little something back. How about reward my loyalty?
Hey, the 49ers know a sucker when they see one.
Yeah, well, they're right.
They got a bunch of
I'm
they got about
addicted to the
70,000
pain.
suckers. I was down there with Baby Chaz, and she was in her 49er cheerleading outfit. I think you and Michelle picked that one out.
Oh, did we?
Yeah,
thank you.
Yeah, she looked good in it, man. What a white long sleeve, and I got her the little 49er hoodie. She was decked out, man. And her first game as a 49er fan was a loss. A bad loss.
Against the Cardinals.
Against Colt McCoy.
Brian, and how does
James
Rondale
Conner.
Moore? They use Rondale Moore. You got to give Cliff Kingsbury credit. Rondale Moore looked unbelievable. They use him as a weapon on almost every single play. Even when he doesn't touch it, they're using him to stretch the defense to the outside by jet sweeping him or running him in motion. They're fantastic.
You know everything about the 49ers this season.
Cardinals are fantastic.
Everything about the 49ers when it comes to the clock management fiasco against Green Bay. When it comes to not winning home games, when it comes to the lack of urgency before halftime, the Aiyuk doghouse scenario, the Kinlaw knee injury, everything that's gone on with this football team. It's leadership. This team lacks leadership. They don't have leadership from the quarterback. They don't have leadership from the tight end because he's never on the football field.
Mm-hmm.
Fred Warner Jr., the leadership there is lacking. You don't have Richard Sherman there in that locker room in the defensive huddle anymore. You don't have leadership from Jimmy Ward because he's not on the field and he doesn't force turnovers. Jaquaski Tart has been here a long time, but he's always hurt. You don't have leadership on the field, and you don't have leadership from the head coach. The head coach,
Can't argue.
You listen to his presser. We'll play it a little bit later. He went straight into the defense. And I get it. Defense sucked yesterday.
Oh, he's always pointing the finger at somebody.
Defense sucked yesterday.
Always somebody
They missed
else's
tackles. Mosley, touchdown run by Conner, the first one. Mosley's got a perfect. He's right there to make the tackle.
What was that?
Misses the tackle.
I don't even know.
3rd and 18, they dump it off to James Conner. Guess what? He gets a first down. Why? Because you miss tackles. This team does not tackle well. They don't block well. They don't catch the ball well. They don't hold on to the ball well. And they're not a well-coached team. They're not. They got the worst coaching staff in the division. Worst coaching staff. So it's leadership, Shasky. You're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMG FM in HD1 San Francisco, and Odyssey Station, brought to you in part by DuckDuckGo, Privacy Simplified. And you know why it's leadership? Because when Nick Bosa ran off the field last week in Chicago at Soldier Field, he said, yeah, John Lynch came down to talk with us last night. John Lynch, huh? GM of the team is talking to you guys, getting you motivated. Not the head coach. What's going on with the head coach? What's up with Shanahan?
I don't even know.
Let's go to AJ
I don't even know.
AJ Freebot. We'll get to these calls here. AJ Freebot, what's happening?
Morning, guys. How are you?
Good.
I've done better.
I'm doing
better.
great. Hey, AJ,
Yep.
I'm doing great. Warriors are 8-1. City College in San Francisco. Football team's undefeated. Basketball team's undefeated. Your boy's doing great.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the good thing is feelings are mutual over here, and I was in a game last night. And again, I mean, my feedback, and again, I'm not the expert like you guys are, but I listen to you all the time and agree what you're saying. I think leadership is the key thing right now, and I believe that Shanahan has lost confidence.
Yep.
In his play calling, he has lost confidence. The way he's operating, he has lost confidence in putting the players together. The play calling, everything has gone south. And a few weeks before, we were talking about Tom Brady coming to San Francisco Niners and 49ers. And, I mean, ideally speaking, I mean, just imagine, I thank God that Tom Brady's not in here, because if he was here, he would have been a complete failure. Because it's not the player, it's the head coaches who make the player like a champion. And right now we are battling this situation big time. And nothing wrong with Jimmy G. Nothing. Yeah, I mean, he has to make extra efforts, but the play calling was so bad that the defense was totally out of. I mean, I had no idea what defense was doing. They were totally out of control.
Yeah. Hey, AJ, thank you so much for the phone call, man. You're right. You're right. The defense was out of control yesterday. Missing tackles. I mean, it's just it's not a good football team. It is what it. You know what is good right now in the Bay Area? The Golden State Warriors. It's a good basketball team. Matter of fact, that's a good basketball team that has the potential to be great.
I agree with that.
The potential to be great.
They cross they're down however many scores, right? And they don't go for 2, which just
Warriors are good.
The Niners are down big. The numbers, the math tells you go for 2 here. You go for 2 because then it becomes a 3.
Yeah, that was laughable. Because they didn't go for 2.
Okay, you were down 18. All right, you were down 18, and if you score a 2-point conversion, now you're down 16.
2 touchdowns and 2 2-point
Exactly.
conversions.
Instead, they kick the extra point and go down 17. So now it's an automatic 3-score deficit. Again, this is very simple math. There's a chart that tells you exactly what to do. They don't do it.
Yep.
Then they get across the 30-something yard line. Jimmy takes a bad sack, which the offensive line, I'm not even ripping Jimmy. I'm just saying he takes a bad sack because he can't evade it. And just Tom Condon and Compton and Brunskill were awful.
Terrible.
And you don't go for it.
Yeah.
To me, I don't even care that you got the ball back.
Chasky.
That was the cowardice thing I've ever seen from this team.
The offense is on the football field. The offense is on the field, right? They're waiting around for the play, Special teams is on the sideline. They're looking down at Shanahan like, are we going on the field or what? Less than 6 seconds left on the play clock. The punt team comes sprinting out from the sideline, and they punt. I'm like, oh, that's the white flag. Now, to their credit,
they got a 3 and out.
They got lucky. They got a 3 and out, and Arizona only burned like a minute 5 off the clock.
That doesn't make the decision
right.
proper.
I'm not saying it was right. I'm not saying that at all. The decision was terrible. That, to me, was a white flag. That, to me, was Shanahan saying, I don't believe we could come back and win this football game. That's why, Shasky, to me, when they were down 17-0, I said, this team's done. I knew they scored before halftime. Arizona takes the ball right after halftime and scores. And I said, this game's over. This game's over. It's not a defeatist attitude. It's just knowing what I know about this football team. They don't have the capability. They're not capable of coming back from 24-7.
No, you're right. But again, I'm watching Trevor Siemian score multiple touchdowns with like 5 minutes to go for the Saints and get them back into that game. Like, it's a nightmare. Here's the thing I can't wrap my head around. And I don't want to hear this, it's a red shirt year. The NFL's not a red shirt league. Mm-hmm. You draft people to plug and play. Plug and play. Yep. That's how the NFL works. They have a 3-year apprenticeship. It's called college, okay? That's where you figure out whether you could play or not. You're telling me Aaron Banks is so much worse than Daniel Brunskill? He can't get on the field? Daniel Brunskill might be the worst right guard the Niners have ever played.
Look,
ever.
Man, I know people want to talk about...
but maybe not.
Trey Sermon can't get on the field? Why'd you draft him? Aubrey Thomas isn't better than Josh Norman and Dre Kirkpatrick? How could it be any worse?
But we like the Josh Norman pickup, and it blew up in their face. Josh Norman's cooked. All right? I'm not going to sit here and take that one back.
But all your draft picks can't get on the field?
Liked it. We both like the move, Josh
There's
Norman.
Not one?
Hey, man, look at the personnel. You know, where do people stand with Shanahan? And I don't want to do this for 3 hours.
No.
Talk about Shanahan. We do this every single week. Where do you stand with Shanahan? Where do you stand with Garoppolo?
What's going good?
What's going on with the head coach? What's going on with Garoppolo? The defense sucked yesterday. This team's not a good football team.
No, they're not.
So how do you fix it? Because guess what? Shanahan ain't going nowhere. He ain't going nowhere.
And like Dave Chappelle at the end of Half Baked, I fell for the trap again last week, and I did it I'm kicking the habit, and then I got reeled back in because I'm addicted to the suffering. I do it to myself every year with this team. Oh, if they just win here, and then they win here, and then they win here, and the next thing you know, hey, they sneak into the playoffs, and who knows? I allowed myself to believe, and I'm an idiot for doing it, and I cannot believe that I actually thought that they could beat Colt McCoy and the DeAndre Hopkins-less Arizona Cardinals.
For 2 straight weeks, Jimmy Garoppolo was one of the best 49ers on the football team. He was one of the best
the least of their problems.
So for 2 straight weeks.
Yeah, but here's the sucky part for this. He's the least of their problems, but what's that getting them?
Nowhere.
So that's the quandary they're in right now. And I'm not ripping him. I'm just saying, that's how dire the situation is.
Let's go to Mega. Mega in San Francisco. Mega, what's happening?
The new Facebook?
No, Mega. I thought he was Mega Man. What's up?
Hey, how y'all doing, man? How y'all doing? Good morning. Good morning, to the Rose. Thank y'all for having me. Shout out Bonte. I just want to get into a few points right now. The Niners have no sense of urgency at all. Jimmy definitely has played good the past couple weeks, right? At the same time, where's the urgency and the leadership out there? You know what I'm saying? He should be trying to get everybody really enthusiastic about the game. If his love and passion is serious about the game, he should be out there really, pumping everybody up. He out there just, going through the motions of the game, and that's not really what a superstar quarterback would do. He's supposed to be the franchise right now. And right now he's just showing that he's an average guy, and I actually love 10. You know what I'm saying? And also the move with Aiyuk Armstead to the middle, it was actually a pretty good move for us yesterday. You know what I'm saying? We just got to find more of a pass rush because him and Bosa can't get it done alone. And then our middle linebackers, all pro Fred, head down out there.
Yeah.
Really just playing. You know what I'm saying? He needs to really be more involved. He should be out there doing the same thing as Jimmy G, pumping the team up. Really out there, keeping everybody together.
Hey, great call, Mega.
They can't stop anyone in the run game.
Great call.
You haven't earned the right to rush the passer. You haven't earned the right to, because you're never in 3rd and long. It's 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3, because you're giving up gashes like you're a serial killer.
Can we do this? And I'm going to say this every hour today. Jonathan in San Francisco.
He was right.
We owe you an apology. Do not ever mention the name Fred Warner Jr. in the same sentence as Patrick Willis and Navarro Bowman.
We're here, and they're there.
Yup. Hey, Jonathan, you're right. Do not mention Fred Warner Jr. in the same breath as Ken Norton Jr. and Gary Plummer. Hell, I don't even want you talking about Fred Warner Jr. the same sentence as Lee Woodall. Don't do it. Don't do it. Not today.
Thanks,
because that guy's not playing. That guy's not playing good football. He hasn't played good football all year, and he got the money. And he's not good. Oh, but people tell me he needs DeForest Buckner because he holds up blockers for him.
I mean,
well, guess what? DeForest Buckner ain't walking through that door, buddy. They traded him for a first-round pick.
And neither is D Ford, who's hurt again. Shocker!
D Ford's hurt again. Javon Kinlaw's rehabbing already. He's got a knee injury. They misdiagnosed the knee. They think they fixed the problem. They think they got it correctly.
Hey,
I don't know.
Hey, B, have you watched Sopranos?
Oh, absolutely.
You know when Chris has the neck brace? That should be the photo for D Ford from here on out. Just Chris from Sopranos with the neck brace on at all times because the guy's never on the field.
I feel so bad.
Never on the field.
I felt so bad because we saw him at training camp working out by himself. He was on the field late. He was on the field by himself. And we're like, D Ford, man, what's up? He goes, let me get right. Let me get right.
What year is that going to be in?
Right. Well, it's not going to be this year. It may not be ever. Let's take one more call before the break.
I always allow myself to get suckered in by this damn team. Always. Every year I do it.
I'm not surprised.
No, I'm pissed at myself.
No, I'm not.
Every year.
Be you, baby.
Hey, this could be the year. This could be the year. No, it's not a year. They go 5 and whatever, 12.
This ain't the year.
And
it may never be the year under Kyle
Shanahan. They're the 4th best team in their own division. And everyone's quarterback's hurt except theirs. and they're the 4th best team in the division and getting slaughtered.
Hey, worst offense in the division, worst defense in the division, worst coaching staff in the division, may have the worst front office in the division. And it ain't getting prettier soon because guess what? You got no first-round draft picks over the next 2 years because you gave that away to Miami for a quarterback you're not playing right now. What's coming up on a game brought to you by Exogen Thermometers. Accuracy matters. What do you guys want to talk about out there? 888-957-9570. Where do you stand with Kyle Shanahan? Where do you stand with the Golden State Warriors? That's where I stand right now. The Warriors are rolling. Nothing but positivity. Joy in buckets, joy in wins, strength in numbers. What about the 49ers? They haven't won a home game in 385 days. 385 days, folks. 888-957-9570. Fever is the leading sign of COVID, so make sure you have an accurate thermometer, the Exogen Temporal Scanner Thermometer, backed by science. It's the accurate thermometer you need and can trust. Be vigilant and learn more at Exogen.com.
It was a brutal loss to the Cardinals at Levi's.
We didn't play very well today at all.
bit, okay? You know
I
how to
love
act?
this beat.
I took acting classes. City College, high school.
Did you complete the course?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, not
Couldn't
in high
tell.
school. Not in high school, but in college I did. I got an A. It's good, man. I wanted to be an actor. It's fun.
Yeah?
It's fun. I basically do it 6 to 9 every day on the morning roast. Trick everybody out there. The new Odyssey exclusive station on the Odyssey app. Brought to you in part by Macy's, Geico, and Coke Zero Sugar. Yes, yes, yes. I feel good today. I feel good today to start the week. All right, I know the Niners got smoked, but the roasters are giving me answers. Why are they getting smoked? Why? Is it the coach? Is it the quarterback? Is it defense? Defense stunk yesterday. That was not D'Amico Ryan's best day, but it was also players got to take accountability. Players play, coaches coach.
I'm with you.
Missing tackles left and right. Left and right. James Conner wanted it more. Eno Benjamin wanted it more.
Christian
Play that
Kirk?
highlight.
Christian Kirk?
The heavy hitters are on the line right now. I see nothing but heavy hitters.
888-957-9570.
The lines are packed. You can't even get through right now. Scott, Trey, Antonio, heavy hitters. Juice, Laurie, heavy hitters. All right? Heavy hitters. The cleanup hitters are at bat right now. They're in the on-deck circle ready to go. But they're going to go after this highlight by Kevin Kugler, Fox Sports. This is when I was ready to walk out the stadium right here and there.
On 2nd and 5, this is Eno Benjamin. A little hop step, and he trucked Drake Kirkpatrick and takes it in for the touchdown.
Oh my goodness.
So
truck stick. Did you hear the crunch at the line of scrimmage? Oh, somebody got too physical out here. They're hitting too hard. Oh, thank God they got balked at Levi.
That's the problem. So, look, if somebody comes on here and is like, well, Aiyuk finally broke out. Like, yeah, about time. Like all the little quote unquote positives are all irrelevant to me this morning because that was a game with the season on the line. And you look around, Vikings lose, Panthers lose. Okay, Atlanta wins, but like the Saints lose. Like there's an opportunity.
You know who else won? The Warriors won.
Yeah, okay. But there's an opportunity for the Niners if you just handle business at home. And you had no DeAndre Hopkins,
wait.
no A.J. Green.
Handle business at home? They haven't handled business at home in 385 days.
Yeah, shame on me for thinking they could. Shame on me, all right? Oh, well, Kittle looked good. About damn time, paying a guy $20 million a year. Fumbles on one of the biggest plays of the game. Just, here you go. Like, it was a great play by Simmons, but come on. Like, I don't want to hear about the positives this morning. I'm pissed off. I'm sick of this, man. I feel like it's been losing after losing year. And every now and then they come up, they have a great little magic carpet ride, and then they come right back down to earth, and the glass slipper turns right back into a pumpkin.
You got to be mad at yourself for drinking the Kool-Aid.
Yeah, well, trust me, I know. When does the Recology truck come so I can throw all these pumpkins out?
All right, it'll come by in an hour. All right? But look, take a deep breath for me, please.
Aren't you sick of watching this same cycle over and over again?
Look, I'm immune to it, dog. They haven't been good in a long time. They've had 4 winning seasons in the last 20 years. This is who they are now. Until you brace, this ain't the Steve Young, Joe Montana 49ers anymore, Sasky.
Yeah, well, I know that. Can you be the Jeff Garcia Niners and at least be entertaining?
No, you can't. They're not entertaining. They're not. They can't.
I feel like we're always playing behind the 8 ball.
Because we follow all the Bay Area sports. Giants,
always playing catch up.
107 wins, had a great year. Warriors are 8-1 to start the season. Steph Curry looks good. Jordan Poole, how about him? How about GP2? Wiseman's on the way back. Klay Thompson's on the way back. Iguodala was out there preaching Friday night, giving a sermon.
I know.
On what it
and
was.
There's 70 more games for them.
And there's 70 more games for them, and they look great. They look great. How about City College San Francisco football team and basketball team? They're undefeated. Undefeated.
Go
the
Rams.
They're undefeated. Stanford, they're not undefeated. Stanford got beat 52-7.
Well, I'll say this. I am happy that Brandon Crawford got his 4th Gold Glove tying JT Snow.
There you go.
And I do love the Brandon Belt 1-year qualifying offer for $18 million.
Look at that.
Like, that's a smart move because you either get a draft pick or you bring him back on a 1-year deal. Do not give him a multi-year deal. I kind of like that, especially before the CBA starts set to expire. That's a sneaky four-horn move. Now, I like that.
Spinoni Curry.
But I don't like that the Cardinals won 5 Gold Gloves. You cannot tell me 5 of their players are better than everyone else in the league.
You're on the roll. You're smiling.
I know. I'm miserable this morning.
Now you're red.
Because
you're redder than that sweater.
You didn't lose. Like, you can lose. You can have a bad week. You laid a complete egg I mean, the Easter Bunny should have been on that field because there were eggs everywhere to be had. You can't even tackle James Conner in space. Does anyone want to tackle him?
Well, you better hope Derrick Henry is not back late in the year because you think they can't tackle James Conner. They ain't tackling Derrick Henry. Titans 6-0. Hey, Titans 6-0 gets playoff teams from a season ago.
For a team that billed itself as a physical team, they're sure to get punked every week.
Kurt Spinotti, physical. Play the beginning of that play. Physical. That's what the 49ers think about physical. They're getting punked at the line of scrimmage.
But Aiyuk finally broke out.
We're going to the heavy hitters here. 888-957-9570. No huddle coming up at 7:40, where you got 30 seconds to get in and get out. Get in and get out. But this play right here basically is the play that summarizes the entire football game yesterday at Levi's.
On second and 5, this is Eno Benjamin. A little hop step, and
I think we doubled it down there.
We doubled it down. God. Go ahead, Spinotti. I saw you, Spinotti. Go ahead and play it. Eno Benjamin. This summarizes the entire football game from yesterday.
On second and 5, this is Eno Benjamin. A little hop step, and he trucked Drake Kirkpatrick and takes it in for the touchdown.
Oh my goodness.
Drake Kirkpatrick has played in like 2 games and is going to be on like 7 different teams' highlight package for 2021. Right? I mean, how does that happen? This dude just like literally just falling all over himself, getting truck sticked. I mean, he is going to be all over this year in the NFL 2021 for every single team but the Niners.
Dude, the Levi Stadium reaction to that trucking like, right away it was like, we do that on Madden, dog. That's Madden. Eno Benjamin looked at Drake Kirkpatrick like food. Boom, end zone, truck stick. Let's go to Juice and Fremont. We'll get out to Laurier Phoenix and we'll get to Scott, Trey, and Antonio in just a second. Juice, you're on the roast.
What's up, my brothers? Here's a thought, man. If you have some of the better coaches that were, say, Niner head coaches right now, like cats like Belichick, Tomlin, Harbaugh, Payne, would this team have won yesterday? My answer is yes. The Niners on paper yesterday, dude, mostly at some of the positions, wide receivers, quarterback, tight end, they should have beaten this team. But the Cards just proved that their coaching had exposed every weak point of this freaking team. You know who's the blame for this? It's the 4 Stooges, that put this roster together. Kyle, Prague, Lynch, and Peters. The Cardinals could have tied a balloon to a chair at the quarterback position, and the Niners would have still freaking lost. I had said it months ago. You can ask Curtis to find tape when you guys had Kate Scott on when the roast debuted. I said Shanahan is no different than North Turner, Josh McDaniels, Eric McGinney, Todd Haley, and Ken Wisenhunt. They're so-called offensive genius minds that can never succeed as a head coach in this league. When the Cards were up 7-0, I knew the game was over because Kyle's team, they can never come back of being down. This team reminds me of that tennis player they used to play years ago, Anna Kournikova. They look good, but they don't play well. And can anybody tell me why is Brunskill still
I don't get it.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
This guy couldn't block the sun if he was covered in suntan. And Drake Kirkpatrick. Why is he even starting on this team when next year him and Norman will be gone? Dude, you could have put Chris Kirkpatrick, who you should see for the instinct, better than Drake Kirkpatrick. This team stinks so bad, all the skunks in Santa Clara are starting to get jealous. And I'm going to tell you this. When something stinks in your house, you locate it, find it, and get rid of it. And it's time to get rid of the trash. And it starts from the head coach and all that freaking John Lynch and the 4 Stooges, man. I'm so pissed off, man. Let me be out like freaking the Kyle's excuses.
So on the cornerbacks, Bonte.
Did you hear the skunk line?
Bonte.
I've never heard that before.
Yeah. We got an Anna Kournikova reference.
Yes. Juice was on fire.
Dude,
he was running material.
The skunks are jealous
I loved it.
of the 49ers. Damn.
He's not wrong.
He's not wrong.
Bonte, I could put two folding chairs out at cornerback.
Comedy,
I could get two folding chairs and put them out at cornerback, and they will get more coverage than what the Niners secondary has gotten this year.
Said tie a balloon to the chair, and they can still play for it. What? Oh my gosh. Ooh.
And Brunskill, there was a play. Brunskill tackled Chandler Jones while tackling Jimmy Garoppolo. It was one of the most disgusting things I have ever seen in my life. Get Brunskill off this team. He's the best. You can't find anyone who could play right guard better than Daniel Brunskill. Jalen Moore, you can't slide him inside. It's clearly not working. You've had 5 years to find an offensive line, and this is what we've got? This is what you've got?
Dude, people 510, it's not funny. Oh, yeah, it is. The skunk line have you died. That's what, you know what I do nowadays, Shasky? 39 years old now. And I used to get mad at 49er losses used to ruin my week. They used to ruin my week. Why are you rolling your eyes?
You came in here like 3 weeks ago and you were screaming and yelling.
No, the season was, I had to. Because finally, when I've been yelling about Shanahan for a year and a half, look at all our calls. Look at all the tweets. Look at all the texts. Look at everybody on YouTube. Get rid of Shanahan. I told you there was a problem with him after the Super Bowl when he allowed his quarterback to take all the bullets for him, and he threw him under the bus. And you know what he did yesterday at the presser? He threw the defense right under the bus. Now, the defense stunk.
Oh, they were terrible.
They were terrible.
But it's not like the offense was lighting it up.
But he's the head coach of the team
Jimmy was better.
He's the head coach of the team saying, yeah, I didn't make the final decision on Josh Norman being benched. What?
It's never his fault.
It's never your fault. Never take accountability.
Never.
Accountability.
Never.
But you know what? I'm not mad anymore about this team.
Oh, I am.
I don't know.
I'm mad at myself for allowing myself to believe that they were going to be good again, or at least in the mix.
Let me tell you, Shasky. I got home. We watched a little Warriors. Watched a little Rams Titans. Watched the game over last night. Watched the game back a little bit this morning. I slept great. I slept great last night. This team, they stink. That's who they are. I don't get up. I don't get too down. I don't get too hyped. Yeah. No more. I don't do that. I'm 39 years old. This is who they are now.
Well, a lot of fans are pissed, and I'm one of them. And I'm sick. I'm just sick of the same thing every single year. You beat a couple loser teams. You feel like you're back in the mix. You look around the league. You're like, wow, that 7th spot. We're right there.
I'll say this.
We have an opportunity. And this is the thing, B. You can lose to the Cardinals in a variety of ways. You can't lose that way. You can't lose to Colt McCoy and James Conner having a career day with no DeAndre Hopkins and that defensive line dominating your offensive line. It looked so bad yesterday.
You know what? You can lose to them. You know why?
Not that way.
No, you know why you lose that way? And you know why you lose to the Cardinals without Kyler Murray and DeAndre Hopkins? Because you don't have leadership.
Well, I agree with that.
You don't have leadership.
I'm with you on that, but Bonte, it's always an excuse. This guy didn't play well at practice. Okay, got it. Is CeeDee Lamb the greatest practice player of all time? Is that what people say, or do they say, "Damn, that dude makes sick ass plays on Sunday"? Because that's what I'm watching Aiyuk yesterday, making sick plays yesterday for the Niners. It's they couldn't have used that in all of their losses this year. They couldn't have used a little bit of Aiyuk sprinkled in there because Sanu clearly ain't making no plays. Because Sanu can't make a play if his life depended on it. Where's Sherfield? Where's the guy that the 49ers were saying, this guy, he's Antonio Brown. Did you see what Larry Fitzgerald said about Trent Sherfield? And this guy can't even get on the field? What? Charlie Warner, this tight end that you drafted, is out there looking again like Brunskill, like a turnstile. He can't stop nobody. He ain't blocking for nobody. Elijah Mitchell looks good. He can't get no touches. I don't want to hear about all the positives. There are no positives right now. It is a dumpster fire. Yes, Aiyuk look good. About time. Debo makes a play, drops a ball. Kittle finally makes a play, fumbles. It's 1 step forward, 3 steps back at all times. And it's just, I'm nauseated by the cycle the cycle of Loserville that has been the 49ers. They took what was a Neiman Marcus brand, and it has been run like a Piggly Wiggly for the last 20 years. And I'm sick of it. I'm sick of being fed hot dogs. I want filet mignon. You're charging filet mignon prices, and you're serving me bologna. You're serving me bologna, and I'm just sick of it. And these Niner fans deserve better. You can't be raising prices $50 a ticket, raising parking lot prices, and you're just crap. The product is crap. If I tried to run a business on the corner that was selling people bologna and charging filet mignon prices, my store would be closed. Okay? Like, show some accountability, Niners. Look in the mirror and say, you know what? We haven't even been anywhere as good as what we should have been. I don't know what's going on here, but we got to make some changes. I need a football czar. I need a new guy picking the players. Kyle Shanahan, maybe you don't need to call plays. I don't know. Something's going on here because clearly it's just too much going on. Clock management's an issue. I don't even know when to go for two. Like, this is a nightmare. And again, I allow myself every year to get suckered in like I'm Dave Chappelle at the end of Half-Baked. Oh, this team could be good again. Hey, they won a game against a mediocre team. Oh, look at the division. Oh, we could get that 7th spot. It's all a mirage because I'm the dude in the desert searching for a little bit of water, just a little bit, because my mouth is so parched by how crap this team has been for 20 years. Harbaugh came, propped them up, made them look like a winner. You suckered all of us fans, myself included. Hey, put a bunch of money down. Build Levi's in the middle of a desert, and you still have no water, and this team's still searching for a quarterback, and I'm still searching for a real head coach, and you're charging me more. And you know what? If they beat the Rams, I'll feel like they can make the playoffs. That's the cycle of how insane this team makes me feel. Woo!
It's the easiest show I've ever done in my life, man. This is great.
How am I not the only one that's not mad? Like, I'm sick of allowing myself every single year. This is the year. They could be good if this happens, and if this happens, and if this happens. No, none of that stuff ever happens. It's always the same dreck. It's the same, like, oh, we're allergic to the forward pass, but Colt McCoy can come in and throw for 300 yards effortlessly, but not our team. Not our team. Colt McCoy, who was on the 49ers and never took a snap, he could come in with 1 week of practice, but Jimmy Garoppolo, with 5 years in the same offensive coordinator, can't throw the ball in a 2-minute drill. Wow, that's what we're doing.
You asked for some positives, right? There's no positives. I'll give you a couple positives. You ready for them?
What, the parking lot didn't flood?
No. They're a game out of the wild card spot.
Oh, of course they are. They've been a game out of the wild card spot for my entire life, it feels like, since they won a Super Bowl.
Elijah Mitchell, that's a positive.
I like Elijah Mitchell. It'd be nice if he touched it a few more times.
What about Eric Armstead yesterday? Do you play well?
Oh, it's great, man. Eric Armstead, wow. The guy making the 5th most money at DN finally made a couple plays. Woo-hoo! Wow, what a guy in the community. Yeah, meanwhile, Aaron Donald wrecking shop for a team that's constantly in the playoffs.
The Piggly Wiggly. Oh, this is great. This is so fun. Laurier Phoenix. What a show. We still got an hour and a half.
They got nobody to blame but themselves. 5 years. They've picked all the groceries. And they're still serving oatmeal. All right, to all of us. Like it's disgusting. Phoenix. At least give me a blueberry.
Laurier Phoenix, what's up?
Oh my goodness, you guys. I don't know where to start with this. You know, you guys are all completely fired. Well, Shafsky's completely fired. It started with Bonte being completely fired up. Now you've moved on to Shafsky being completely fired up. Okay, I've been a fan of this team for the better part of 40 years. Okay, I have seen some great football, and I have seen some bad football. Okay, I'm still a fan of the team. It's fun to make fun of your team when they don't play well. You know, you're pointing out, you know, the Drake Patricks and the Josh Normans and those things. But to, you know, fans, that's not fun. Okay? But what lost you this game yesterday was your playmakers.
Turnovers.
Okay? I mean, Kittle with the fumble. Now, granted, he ended up with 100 yards receiving, but that set the tone and it put the momentum back to the Cardinals. Then Aiyuk makes a great catch, can't hang on to the football. These guys are professional football players, and they are your playmakers. They can't make those mistakes. Fred Warner can't recover a fumble. I mean, it's just there's so many things. But you know what? It doesn't. At the end of the day, as far as fandom goes, I will be right there cheering on this team the rest of the season, regardless of what happens.
Yeah, because, Lori, you're like me. We're addicted to the suffering. I am addicted to the suffering. It's not like I'm going to go away. All of a sudden, I'm going to be a Seahawks fan next week. Like, I get what you're saying, but, like, come on. Like, at some point, like, you got to get off the toilet and make something happen here, 49ers. Like, come on.
Well, and I agree with you totally. The thing about yesterday that, to me, what it would have been so much easier if it had been on Jimmy, right? Because, the narrative has been all year, well, how many more games is Jimmy going to start? How many more times? Well, Jimmy didn't look bad yesterday. It wasn't Jimmy. And I think we've spent so much time between the Trey Lance and the Jimmy Garoppolo and all this other stuff that we're failing to see so many other problems on this team. It's the inconsistencies. I mean, Al-Jazeer, he had played so well.
Oh, he was bad yesterday.
He couldn't tackle yesterday.
Yeah.
Fred, what is going on? That's the disappointing part. When you get one part of the team together, when you finally start passing the ball downfield, they can't hang on to the ball. When you finally, look at what they did 3 weeks ago against Kyler Murray, the defense. And this defense can't defend Colt McCoy. So
I know.
It's a very frustrating time to be a fan. It is. But at the end of the day, we're still fans. This is still our team. Let's show some type of respect for, for the let's just support. Maybe not respect. Maybe they don't deserve our respect.
Lori, the ones you love are the ones you get in the most passionate arguments with. Come on, let's keep it 100. Like, you don't just screaming at the random people on the street. When you and your significant other are having a fight, you're having a real fight, all right? That's what happens. You say things that you know are going to cut. They're going to cut deep. That's what I'm saying about this team. I love this team. And that's the part that makes it most frustrating. I want them to win. All I want is for them to be a functional, normal organization that consistently wins. You don't even have to win a Super Bowl.
Aren't they functional? Wait a minute.
But they're minus 44 in turnover differential since Shanahan took over.
I thought they had the GM in place, the head coach.
4 winning seasons
guess
since
what,
Jeff
Shasky?
Garcia left.
I hope you got something left for next Monday.
4.
Hey, let me say something real
the
quick.
Cincinnati Bengals have been better run than the San Francisco 49ers since 2003. Say that out loud. Just again, there's a little exercise I like to do. Say something out loud. It's like Jimmy Garoppolo could win a Super Bowl. You say it out loud, you don't really believe it. And this isn't about Jimmy today. The Niners have been worse run than the Cincinnati Bengals. But you know what? They make a ton of money because they built the stadium. Great. You did what you're supposed to do. You made a functional business. Yeah. Can you now take the money that you're printing off the backs of these diehard fans like Lori, and could you, get cornerbacks that aren't folding chairs who get truck sticked by random dudes that no one's heard of and no one has in their fantasy lineup?
Eno Benjamin was a beast at Arizona State. That man could play at Arizona State. Forks up, baby. Forks up.
You know what the best throw of the day was? Shanahan throwing a challenge flag for the 49ers. That was the best throw of the day
Jimmy
yesterday.
Made some good throws yesterday. He made some good
throws. Yeah, some medicine balls.
He threw
this
some
team
good
about to be in the training room again.
Don't do that. Now you're off your rocker. Now you're off your rocker. Let me just ask you, because there's 8 games left in the season. All right? Play the Revs next week. The week after is Jacksonville. Then a home game against your boy, Kirk Cousins. Then they go to Seattle, Cincinnati, play Atlanta at home. Then they go to Tennessee on a short week, Houston on a Sunday, and then they finish the season in L.A. Got any more Reds in you?
Because you know what? They're going to be dead to me by then. Then I'm going to put them on pause for the rest of the year.
Wow.
You don't get to the end of a series and you're like, you know what? I'm done with this.
Wow.
I mean, that's honest to God, dude. This is not healthy. The relationship I have with the 49ers is not healthy, and I admit it. I'm going completely insane. And I don't want to hear what you think they were going to beat Colt McCoy and the DeAndre Hopkins-less Arizona Cardinals at home. Yeah, I did think they were going to beat them. With their season on the line, when every other team that's in the 6, 7, 8 hole in the NFC is losing, I expected the 49ers to put up a fight, not be down 31-7 at home in the third quarter. No, I didn't have that on my flow chart of success for a Sunday.
Here's another positive. It's from our man Gutter Trash at PDX. They'll get a last place schedule next year.
They had a last place schedule this year. What is the excuse? They had a last play scheduled this
I'm
year.
just trying to make you laugh.
Yeah, I don't even
That's
like
all.
what.
I'm actually concerned about your health right now. I'm just sitting back chilling.
And you know what? This is
I can't
the worst.
believe I'm getting paid for this.
This is the worst.
Matt Hegan, this is great.
This is the worst part of this, and this is the part. Look,
thank you to Hegan.
Here's the thing.
Thank you, Odyssey.
Now that we're here, let's get to the metaphor
No
that
huddle.
is
Hold on.
Jimmy
No,
Garoppolo.
save it, Sunday. We're 3 minutes past no huddle. We got to get to no huddle. Let's start in Scott and Belvedere. No huddle.
I'm addicted to this suffering, dude.
Yeah, you are.
Unhealthy.
We're running a no huddle. Line up your calls, and you have only 20 seconds. Go.
Scott and Belvedere, start it off, baby. 20
Hey,
seconds or less. What's happening?
Hey, what's going on, guys? Thanks for taking my call. Thank God I'm a Raiders fan. That's all I can say every week. So all our off-the-field adversity, I'm still, after watching that Niner game, proud to be a Raiders fan. And Shasky, welcome to my world about wishing every year that it's going to be better and better, and it just never gets there. You know, personally, I think it's the Shanahan thing. I look at him on the off the sidelines there, and he's all grumpy, and he looks like a tweaker on the sideline, like he's up all night studying his playbook and you know, doesn't know what to do, and then he goes out on the field. We
got Eddie Kornikova.
That's unfair.
We got the
to call
skunk.
him that. I don't.
Calling him a tweaker. It's just
That's unfair.
Let him fly today.
That's unfair.
You're not going to ruin my start to the week. You know why? Because the Warriors are 8-1.
You know what it is?
They're taking on the Hawks today.
You know what it is,
I don't
Opie?
pay attention. You know, I pay attention to losing teams, but you know what? They don't bother me no more. 49ers losing the way they did yesterday.
Yeah, but football does
I walked
something
out the
different.
stadium with my head held high saying, you know what? I get to watch a bad football team. The 49ers I knew growing up when I was a kid and a teenager, those days are gone.
Well, it's a totally
those
different.
Those days are gone.
Everything's different.
They stink.
Yeah.
This franchise stinks.
Well, and on the Shanahan thing, like, here's the reality is, I don't even know if he's a good coach or not. Like, I don't even know. I see guys open. I see some guys not open. I don't even know.
You know
I don't
what's
even
interesting?
know. I literally don't even know.
You know what's interesting
I know
now?
he can't pick personnel.
Well, you know
That
what's interesting now? Things are coming to the light with Kyle Shanahan. Welcome to the party. Welcome to the train. Kyle Shanahan, when he was talking all that stuff to the media this week or earlier this season saying, you guys are hard-headed. You keep asking me the same questions. You're hard-headed. And what did I say that week, Shasky? Heading into the season, I said, you bet not make the playoffs this season. You bet not make the postseason.
Oh, a double entendre.
Well, you know what? They're 3-5 right now. One game out the wild card. But Shanahan, let me tell you, my rent will be coming when you get eliminated from the postseason.
Instead of acting class, maybe you should have took an English class.
No, that's fine. It's slang. Sometimes you play with the English language. Sometimes you play with the English language a little bit.
The only way I'm going to get some laughs this morning is getting some jokes off. Got to get these jokes off, dog.
Got to get the jokes off, man. Just take off the sweater, man.
Oh, no, this is the last time I'll be wearing Niner gear for a while. Well, at least till Friday, and then I'll start going through the cycle again of thinking, oh, my God, maybe Monday.
It's not healthy, man.
Maybe Monday they could beat the Rams at home.
It's not healthy.
I could already think in my head, like, I'm going to go down to the game with my nephew, and I'm just...
Trey and Benicia, no huddle. Trey and Benicia.
I love and hate this team.
Why don't you even go out there?
Prime time.
You don't even need to go out there, man. But Trey, what's happening? No huddle.
Hey, what's going on, Bonte? On top of the morning, you and Shiesty. Man, let me just start off like this. Man, let's give our thoughts and condolences to Drake Kirkpatrick. Memo is never stand on the train tracks while I train. Always remember that. You know what? Like people said yesterday, leadership definitely showed. Because we got to talk about that. I'm surprised nobody didn't hit on that. That Drake Kirkpatrick scene where he was arguing back and forth. He looked like he wanted to not just fight the Cardinals, but want to fight his own teammate yesterday and going and getting into it with
Josh
the head
Norman.
coach.
Yeah, Josh Norman.
I'm good if I don't ever see another snap of Josh Norman the rest of the year.
Yeah,
I don't care about his punched out balls. The guy's got like 8,000 penalties.
Well, you know what?
It's just stupid.
I thought it was a good signing, veteran, last
I did
shot.
too.
But you know what? It's not working out. You can cut them right now. Just cut them right now.
Here's another angle on the corners just in general. When they were good in 2019, all their corners tackled. Right now, none of their corners tackle. They are the least physical team that they've played against all year. Like, all year, they are the least physical team.
Spadoni and Curly. We got Piggly Wiggly, tweaked out, Eddie Kornikova. The Skunks are jealous of the 49ers. What else do we got? Even Juice dropped a Curly in there. Drop Curly in there. Like, Juice
it's a metaphor Monday.
It's a metaphor Monday. That's
Wait till
good.
Guru comes in.
That's good. A metaphor Monday, not a monster Monday. I thought it was a tell the truth Monday, but I like a metaphor Monday. What metaphors do you have for the 49ers? 888-957-9570. Lines are jacked up. Let's keep going to them. This is great. This is man, I got the best seat in the house. I get the best job in the world right now. I got my co-hosts freaking out about this football team. I got callers off the rockers right now. If you're on the roadways, you got to be enjoying this. This is great. I'm just going to kick my feet up for the rest of the show and relax and listen to this. Antonio in Oakland, what's happening? You're on the roast.
Man, I'm so freaking pissed off. I'm still pissed off about that Armstead play, man. Like, you making Cole McCoy look like the real McCoy. He's not. It's so frustrating out here, man. Like, Fred Warner, he's like Jeff Ulbrich. He can never be in the same sentence with Willis. He's on a milk carton right now, looking terrible. Terrible, as Charles Barkley would say. Terrible with 49ers team right now. So, oh, my God, with that said, the Golden State Warriors.
8-1.
Like DJ Khaled said, we the best.
Hey, 8-1. I'm smiling from ear to ear, baby. Trae Young and the Hawks in town. Taking on the Warriors.
Does that
Warriors
Trae play?
8-1. That Trae plays.
Oh.
That Trae plays. But don't sit here. See, I'm not going to let you do this. And this is where you get a little irrational.
No. It's the metaphor of Jimmy Garoppolo. Whether he played good or not, that does not make what they have done this year. They have backed themselves into a no-win situation. Exactly the worst thing possible is playing out. Jimmy's actually playing good the last couple of weeks. And they have nothing to show for it when it comes to the standings.
Trey Lance is going to play at least the last 5 games. Trey's time's coming. Trey's time's coming.
Yeah, and you burned a season. And you burned a season.
Do you really want him taking snaps behind Tom Compton and Daniel Brunskill?
They'd have at least 2 wins with Trey right now. They would have at least 2 wins. I think he can move around a little better than Jimmy.
Tom Compton will get that man murdered.
Well, he's going to have to learn how to play. He's going to have to learn how to play.
Already sprayed a ligament in this first start.
Well, that's because you ran him like he was Cam Newton.
All right.
I don't agree with that. How about a rollout? You know, wow, a bootleg? You know, the team that created the sprint right option, it'd be nice to actually, use it.
Line 4, no huddle. What's happening? You're on the roast.
Hey, you guys. I know it's 20 seconds. I'll make it short and sweet. They're going to be the Santa Clara 49ers until further notice. They don't deserve San Francisco 49ers right now. And during the telecast, stop showing the Bay Bridge. Show the Dunbarton Bridge in Great America, because they don't deserve that overshot view of San Francisco. They're a clown show right now, and they need to blow it up.
Yeah.
Wow. We're back to the stadium. Things are bad when we're talking about the stadium again.
Well, I agree with them on showing the Dumbarton because I'm so salty with all the salt that they have in the salt flats out there near the Dumbarton on 84. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I'm okay with that as well. Jeff Ulbrich. We got a Jeff Ulbrich reference
Number
today.
53, Hawaii.
With the neck roll, the little neck collar, remember him?
Wasn't he the D coordinator for Jim Mora's team at UCLA?
He was, for UCLA. That's good knowledge. He was with the Falcons for a while as a linebacker coach, too. Jeff Ulbrich.
I actually like Jeff Ulbrich.
Yeah, he wasn't bad.
Yeah.
He was a tackle machine, even though it came 15 yards out of the field. Live 5. Live 5. What's happening? You're on the roast.
What's up, man? This is J-Rod from the 408.
What's up, man?
I just want to say, Kyle Shanahan, man, he might be a great play designer, but he's not a great play caller, man. He can't put all that stuff together. He's in his own mind. You had Jeff Wilson Jr. ready to go, LaMichael Hasty ready to go, Elijah Mitchell diamond in the rough, and where the hell's Trey Sermon, man? We should have been running the ball down the throat, wearing them out, then hitting them deep.
No doubt.
We need Dre Greenlaw to come back, man.
Dre Greenlaw, they do miss.
They do miss Dre Greenlaw. I told you Dre Greenlaw.
You're right. And they missed Ward and Tart yesterday. Bad. I mean, Tavon Wilson's terrible.
He's terrible. Jeff Ulbrich.
Who took some bad angles.
Jeff Ulbrich is now the D coordinator of the New York Jets.
Oh.
The New York Jets, who just gave up a bunch of long runs to the Indianapolis Colts on Thursday Night Football.
Mike White,
by the way,
baby.
I got to shout this one out. Rich Campbell on Twitter. What's up, Rich Campbell? Bay Area pro teams, most seasons over 500 since the year 2000.
Okay.
Sharks number 1, 17.
Wow.
A's number 2, 14.
Wow.
Giants number 3, 13.
Wow.
Tied for third with the Quakes.
Yeah.
13 appearances
this
in
is since 2000.
Since 2000.
Yeah, so you're going to give them some mooch years here in the Niners.
Yeah, you're going to get some mooch years. The Warriors with 10.
10.
The Niners with 6. The Raiders with 4. Niners.
And 2 of those were with Mooch.
2 of those with Mooch. 3 with Harbaugh. Wow. It's a bad football team. That's why I don't get mad.
Wow.
I don't get this franchise has been bad for 20 years.
Yeah, but NFL gives you this where like a team could prop up and be good.
They did in 2019. and now we're back to the norm.
And they had Mahomes beat. They got nothing to show for it.
Lie what? No huddle. What's happening?
So, man, check it out, man. First off, Kyle Shanahan is the leader of this team. They play just the way he acts. Soft. Get him out of here. Jimmy Garoppolo, get out of here. And by the way, the way he treated Aiyuk, he should be fired for that. You see, he finally getting the ball to Aiyuk, and he's making plays. The play where he fumbled, if he don't jump like Michael Jordan and get that ball, that's an interception. So that fumble, I can care less about that. Get Cal punk ass out of here. Thank you.
Damn.
Hey, the Aiyuk thing, I'm going to tell you right now. The Aiyuk thing is maddening. The Aiyuk part is maddening. Oh, he just might not be that good.
Well,
he's got to play better in practice. And then Shanahan had the audacity to come out. We had a great week in practice. The hell does that mean? You didn't even show up on Sunday.
You know what's funny?
We had a great week in practice. What are you talking? You were down 31-7 to Colt McCoy.
With Aiyuk,
he was the 3rd string.
It's actually
for the Niners. Colt McCoy, Bonte, Colt McCoy.
Yeah, he was a Texas Longhorn. Colt McCoy. Horns up, baby. Horns up.
Colt McCoy was up 31-7.
Horns up, forks up, baby. Horns up, forks up.
I'm sorry, I'm livid this morning.
Well, look, here's the thing with Aiyuk, and we had this discussion a month ago. Because at training camp, it was a hamstring. And then I started hearing tea leaves about, he's not practicing hard. And I start smelling it. And I said, that's what's going on in Santa Clara? You're going to do this to Brandon Aiyuk? You're really going to do this to Brandon Aiyuk? But you know what? Rob was right. They were soft yesterday.
Big time.
On 2nd and 5, this is Eno Benjamin. A little hop step, and he trucked Drake Kirkpatrick and takes it in for the touchdown. Oh my goodness.
More coming up on the roast.
You work hard, so you deserve the good things in life, like an amazing deal on awesome internet. That's why there has never been a better time to switch to Xfinity. Get the fast and reliable internet that you deserve for $19.99 a month for 12 months with a 1-year contract. And for the first time ever, ask how to get 12 times the speed for the same internet price when you add Xfinity Mobile. Just imagine.
7, the game.
Oh, baby. Oh, baby. What a monster Monday, a.k.a. Metaphor Monday, a.k.a. Tell the Truth Monday. After the Niners get their brains beat in 31-17 by the Arizona Cardinals because of one play right here summarizes the entire football game.
On 2nd and 5, this is Eno Benjamin. A little hop step, and he trucked Dre Kirkpatrick and takes it in for the touchdown. Oh, my goodness.
North Turner. Hold on. Shaku Boy on Twitch. By the way, shout out to the Roasters on Twitch. Shout out to the Roasters on YouTube. You guys have been bringing the fire all morning long. Thanks to the callers here who take the time out of their day to call the station, to call our show.
Yeah, thank you.
We really appreciate it. Shout out to everybody
sorry
going to work.
I'm salty today.
Shout out to everybody getting off their graveyard shift. Shout out to Spadoni getting up in the morning. Getting up early to run the board today. 2 days in a row. 2 shows in a row. Great job, Spadone. Great job, Spadone. And John Curley. Man, he's running around here with his head cut off, but he's getting stuff done. I see effort. I see better effort than the 49ers yesterday, and we'll get to that. You know, Shaka Boy. Shanny is North Turner with a cool hat.
Here's the moment that broke me. Here's the moment that broke me.
What broke you?
And this is what I'm going to tell you exactly what it was.
What broke you?
It was right here. It's the end of the third quarter. They start to drive, and then it goes into the fourth quarter, and they're like walking up to the line, and I'm like, "Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Show some sense of urgency. Give me a little no huddle." I'm watching Colt McCoy go no huddle. The freaking third string for every single team his entire career is running no huddle, and you're not. You get to the 39, 38, whatever it was, 37, and you take a horrible sack on second down. Now you're in 3rd and long. And like, to me, it's 4-down territory the rest of the game. Like, you gotta like score a touchdown here. Cut it in half on 3rd and long.
And by this point, it's early fourth quarter.
Yes. So what is it, like 13 minutes?
13 minutes and 2 seconds left
and
we're
all doing the same thing.
Punt it.
Let's go. Come on. Hustle up to the line. And there's just no sense of urgency. We're not going to throw it downfield. We're not going to do it. He takes a horrible sack. Then he throws short. I'm like, why are we throwing short? And then it's like 4th and whatever, 12, 14? 4th and 13. Okay. They're like, where? About the 40?
They're at the Arizona 39-yard line.
And they decide to punt. And I'm like, you have got to be kidding me. You have got to. So that sequence there. Now, look, they got the ball back. You can play the result to say, well, they got the ball back and they did the right thing. No. It's the way it looked. It's the signal, the message you sent your own team. We're going to lollipop it down like we're at the park playing in some pickup game. We're just going to take a couple sacks here. No big deal. We're going to check down. No sense of urgency. We don't have to stretch the field. Our season's not on the line. And then they punt it back to them. And I'm like, what are we doing? Like, what are we doing?
Was the
you
white
think
flag.
Russell Wilson would have punted it right there?
Listen.
You think Tom Brady's punting it right there?
Listen.
You think Aaron Rodgers is punting it? Like,
that was a white flag.
It's just...
That was a white flag right there. That was a white flag moment. But I tell you what, let's dive into this game. And look.
But that was the moment for me. And it's like, what are we doing?
I tell you what moment it was for me.
It was such a loser move.
It's been happening since the Baltimore game in 2019. It happened in the Super Bowl. We've seen it multiple times this season. Before the Green Bay game, during the Green Bay game, during the Philly game, these 2-minute drills before halftime.
It's so bad.
So the 49ers have the ball. They've got 3 timeouts left. 3 timeouts. And they're down 17-0. All right? 17-0. So they got the ball at the Arizona 37 with 2:31 left. Got 37 yards to get the touchdown. And you still have 3 timeouts left. And yet the 49ers decide to let the clock run down to the 2-minute warning.
Mm-hmm.
And then off the 2-minute warning, they run the ball and give it to Elijah Mitchell.
And they could have snapped it before the 2-minute. They do this. This least aggressive thing I've ever seen in my life. So passive.
They let 31 seconds elapse off the clock. Instead of thinking like this, hey, we're down 17-0. We have 3 timeouts left. There's 2:31. Let's stretch the ball down the field. Let's move it down the football field to get a quick score, because you know what Arizona's going to do right before halftime? Arizona's thinking we have a 17-7 lead.
Exactly, house money.
We get the ball after halftime.
I'm with you.
Let's just play conservative. Knowing that, you could have burned your timeouts and got another possession before halftime, and maybe you may be down 17-10. You may be down 17-14, but the lack of sense of urgency with this team from Shanahan or Jimmy. It's not about Shanahan or Jimmy. We've avoided that for mostly 2 hours. But this is where I have a problem with Jimmy, and this is where I have a problem with Shanahan.
What is it?
The problem I have with Jimmy, all right, in these situations, he played behind Tom Brady in New England, the master of the 2-minute drill.
Yes, and the sense of urgency.
The sense of urgency, the master of it. I'd never see Garoppolo say, hey, come on, give me the play. Hurry, roll. He's just okay with just putting his hands on the helmet, saying, let me get the play, huddle. But like, as a quarterback, I need you to take leadership.
You're so right.
That's where leadership is lacking on this football team. There's no, hey, give me the play. Come on, let's go. No huddle, let's go. There's none of that. And then there's none of that from Shanahan. First of all, he's on the opposite side of the field, right? He's so far up, like on the sideline. He's behind the defense. That's got to come from Shanahan. Shanahan's got to be yelling at the quarterback, hey, come on, no huddle, let's go. You got to maximize plays. You got to maximize time. You got to maximize clock. And they don't do that whatsoever.
Such a great point.
And so, like, you know, when you see them kick the field goal down 31-7, they score. We're down 24 points. I'm not a math major, but I know, 24 points. So if I score 1 touchdown, go for 2, get it. That's 8. If I score another touchdown to go for 2 and converted, that's 16. If I score another touchdown.
They have charts that tell you if you are down X amount of points in these situations, this is what you go for. Like it's the math is literally at your fingertips. If you laminate the sheet, it's sitting there. And where's the guy whispering in his ear?
Yeah, there's nobody there. He needs help. You see, he needs help. Cliff Kingsbury's got help. He's got Vance Joseph's calling his defense, who's got a plethora of experience.
That defense
in the
looks
NFL.
good.
And the defense looks great.
Looks good.
Simmons makes plays.
Looks a lot better this year than he did last year. He's taking a quantum leap forward.
Dude, he's a baller. Marcus Golden, a baller.
He's chirping.
Dude.
Chirping.
That's what they do in Arizona. They chirp.
If I had Tom Compton staring me in the face, I'd be chirping too.
Dude, when you hit like this.
On 2nd and 5.
When you hit like that, you get the chirp.
Drake Kirkpatrick.
That's when you hit like that, you get the chirp. All right? Did they miss J.J. Watt? No, because I got Chandler Jones.
Listen to that boy.
Dude, they don't chirp. They don't chirp. So it's the lack of urgency. It's clock management. It's so, like, when you think about it, they were 30 seconds 37 seconds away from being 3-0 on the season. 37 seconds away from being 3-0 on the season. Why did they move to 2-1? Why did they lose that game against Green Bay? Clock management, lack of urgency.
Don't you think it's ironic that you bring up the 37 seconds and yet it takes them 5 minutes in a 2-minute drill to score a touchdown? It's 6 minutes. Like it's a nightmare. And this thing about the defense yesterday, I had zero faith in the defense. You can only have faith in your defense if they give you something throughout the game. Bonte, they score the touchdown before halftime, and what they do on the first freaking drive of the second half, 3 plays, touchdown, boom. Boom. No adjustment whatsoever. It was like, did James Conner even get touched on that play?
He didn't get touched on a screenplay.
I mean,
he didn't get touched on a screenplay.
It was like they were running Madden plays. Everyone go deep, I'll just chuck it down low. And they dialed up some brilliant screen games, knowing exactly where the predictable blitz was coming from. Anytime the blitz came in, they threw a hot route right in that direction. It was a masterclass in X's and O's yesterday, and it was very simple. It wasn't like it was this exotic thing. Very simple, high school plays.
This is when you knew the game was over. And that's why I thought 17-7 at half. Okay, let me see that first drive after halftime. Baldy always talks about it. Let's see the kickoff team. All right, let's see what the kickoff team does. Well, you give up a 29-yard return to Eno Benjamin. 1st and 10, Arizona has it at their 28.
Eno getting a lot of run on 95-7 in the game
today. A lot of
today.
run. He deserves it. Should we play Niner highlights? You want to play Niner?
What was the Niner highlight? The Aiyuk catch with 3 guys draped on him that was thrown behind him?
The 49ers are lucky we're spending time on them. They're lucky we're spending time on them today, but we're doing it. 1st and 10 at the 28. Colt McCoy pass, short pass over to Wesley, 25 yards. Boom, right off the rip. 25 yards, you're at midfield. All right, you get a 2-yard run, 2nd and 8 at the Niners 45. Okay. Boom, 45-yard touchdown. You know what the Niners do on their first
45?
drive? Just 45.
Yeah, would they
you know
go
what the Niners do? Elijah Mitchell left in, -1 yard.
Yeah.
Jimmy Garoppolo sacked, -8 yards. 3rd and 19 at their own 16. Jimmy Garoppolo pass, incomplete, deep middle to Mohamed Sanu. That's where you're going to on 3rd and 19.
Yeah, and Sanu begging for penalties on every throw.
And then, you know what Arizona does to put the game away? We're just going to go on a 7-play, 71-yard drive. The sense of urgency to put teams away, the sense of urgency to score, it's lacking from the 49ers.
Have they played complimentary football at any point this year?
No, they've been awful all season long.
It's always like one element of the team is completely off, right? It's special teams one week, it's defense the next week, it's offense, and they go back and forth taking turns on who's going to be more inept.
This lack of sense of urgency, though, it's not just the Shanahan era. I've seen this with Tom Sula. I've seen it with Chip Kelly.
Oh, yeah.
I saw it with Harbaugh at times.
You didn't like a 4th and 1 slow developing read option play for Colin Kaepernick so that he could throw to Jeremy Curley over the middle? That wasn't there?
I saw it with Mike Nolan. All right? I saw it with Mike Nolan. I saw it with Dennis Erickson. This has been 49er football now for 20 years.
I don't know the facts.
But here's the part that gets me frustrated.
Hold on, Shesky.
Okay.
Rich Campbell said it best. He's got the tweet out. Bay Area pro teams, most seasons over 500 since 2000. The Niners have 6. This is who they are. This is who they are now. And it starts from the top. That's why a few weeks ago I was begging to hear from Jed York.
Yeah.
I want to hear from Jed York on how things are going. Because I can't keep blaming Shanahan. He's employed by the owner. I can't keep blaming John Lynch. The owner hired him with no experience as a GM. Is it on him? Like, who is it on? I can't keep pointing fingers. I'm tired of pointing fingers at everybody.
You know what they are? They're a brand that was great in the 80s and 90s. They're like Nebraska football, Miami football, where they just live on the past. They've popped up for a couple years here and there. But here's the part that I really get frustrated in. I'm one of these fans. I freely admit it. I love the team. And I've been in on this team since the day one of my birth, and I'm going to be till the day I die. We deserve better. We spend so much money as a fan base on this team.
You know what?
And they're a great business. When it's talking about the business of running the 49ers, they're printing money hand over foot. And yet, when I look at their coordinators, when I look at their coaching staff, have they spent top dollar on their coaching staff?
No.
Is there anybody with head coaching experience anywhere on those sidelines besides Kyle Shanahan? Is there anyone?
Well, this is why, Shasky.
Anyone.
Look.
There is no salary cap on that.
Hold on, Shasky. This is why I'm a fan. But I have no problem watching the games at home. All right? You know if the product is inferior, and I know it's fun being at the games.
People spend so much money to go. We all spent much money. We should get a little reward back.
Stop going. Stop buying money on jerseys and hats and sweaters. Stop.
It's the loyalty of the fan base, though. The fan base deserves better.
They do.
I mean, does Kyle think it's been a success? Honestly, God, you could say 2019. 2019 is an outlier.
Well, let's hear from Kyle.
It is an outlier.
Let's hear from Kyle.
We didn't play very well today at all. I was real disappointed. Thought we'd play really well. Had a good week of practice. I thought we'd even improve from the week prior, but obviously didn't go that way.
What went wrong, Kyle?
When you can't stop the run, I think it seemed like they were in second and less than 5 after every first down. You give up all those free yards, big explosives on screens. I don't think they punted till the third quarter. And then on offense, you got to come out and you got to make those plays to start. I thought that we had a chance to keep up with them at the beginning. First drive with the drop, then the fumble again inside the 10, and then it was catch-up ball from there on out.
He ran the ball 11 times yesterday. That's not 49ers football. They like to get to 30. Like the Warriors, 30 assists.
Mm-hmm.
Niners like to run the ball 30 times. Did the Warriors get 30 assists last night? I bet you they did. Warriors are 8-1. They practice hard and they play well.
Here's the thing that with this team, the Niner team, they just can't stop the run, B. They cannot stop the run. They're one of the worst teams I've seen. Right up the middle. It's right up the middle every single time. And then because they are so porous up the middle, Bosa's crashing, Alshair's crashing, different DBs are crashing, and then they give up the ball on the edge every time. Oh, look, we lose contain. The big contrast for me. They ran a sweep jet to Christian Kirk, who ended up throwing it downfield after the Niners sidelines losing their minds on the Eric Armstead play. The Niners run a double reverse, and Arizona holds contain, and the guy takes a great angle, Allen, the defensive end. And that's the difference between the two teams. Yeah. One team plays disciplined football and gets the ball to their playmakers, and they make plays in the open space. The other team is constipated on offense, and on defense can't stop a nosebleed.
It's true. That is true. And number 97, Nick Bosa, you brought him up. Number 2 overall pick from a couple seasons ago. You think Nick Bosa's having a good year?
No, I don't think he's having a good year. I think he's had individual moments where he gets the sacks and stuff.
No.
But I think if we were grading this year, I'm noticing more and more, and I do think it's because of the interior run that they're giving up. He is crashing on everything, and then he's not keeping contained. He's not playing disciplined football right now.
I thought I was tripping last week watching the Chicago game. I'm like, he's okay. And then we asked Baldy, who's the smartest man in football, watches the film, crunches the film, unlike any other human being on this earth. He goes, Nick Bosa was invisible. I wonder what he thinks of Bosa this week against Arizona.
Yeah.
Because that first Connor touchdown, they ran it right at Bosa.
I know.
Right at Bosa.
And then they threw screens in his direction, B. He comes flying up because it's like you have to have some recognition. The screen's coming in your area. There's a reason the tight end's on you.
Unbelievable. Let's go out to the lines here. Man, where do we start? Where do we start?
Rat-a-tat-tat him. Therapy.
Thin man in Sacramento. What's happening?
Well, hello, guys.
What's up, Thin man?
I just wanted to come on and first, full disclosure, let me say that I am a Raider fan.
Okay.
But having said that, forever, I have watched the 49ers every week. I don't know if it really is from the top down, but I think the 49ers have been mishandling their quarterbacks for a decade. And Jimmy Garoppolo is no exception. I think that guy gets no support. He's been beat up by the media. He's been beat up by the fans. He's been made to look like he's not worth keeping. This kind of reminds me of back when Alex Smith was the quarterback. I thought they decided way too early to get rid of Alex Smith for Kaepernick and put a guy on the field that was not ready.
He had a better year the following year than Alex Smith. I mean, he literally outperformed him in every metric, however you want to measure it.
I don't care what kind of metrics you're looking at. The bottom line is that he was not ready to be the starting quarterback. And I see the same thing happening right now in this current situation with the new shiny toy. I think the new shiny toy, maybe they should have brought him in but he should have known that he was not the starter. There shouldn't have been a whole summer of conversation about replacing Garoppolo. I think Garoppolo should have been given the opportunity, one, to play this year, and number two, not to be looking over his shoulder for the entire year.
All right, Tim, man. Listen, I hear you. No, I agree with half of it. I disagree with the Kaepernick situation because when Kaepernick was inserted into the football game, that offense looked light years better than what it did under Alex Smith. But I do agree with the handling of Jimmy Garoppolo. Is Jimmy Garoppolo Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers? No. But this guy, Kyle Shanahan, has flirted with every single quarterback for 3 years. And the 49ers, whoever, media, whatever you want to say, Jimmy Garoppolo was blamed for Super Bowl 54. We took all the calls on these airwaves. Everybody pointed to, he missed that one throw to Sanders, and he got blamed for the Super Bowl. Nobody looked at Shanahan. Nobody looked elsewhere. They looked at Jimmy Garoppolo. He's had to look over his shoulder the entire time he was here. When really, Jimmy Garoppolo helped make this franchise relevant again. This relevant was dead in the water when they traded for him.
Well, okay, I agree with what you're saying.
Hold on, let me finish,
I agree with what you're saying.
So Thin Man makes a point there where Garoppolo has been mishandled. You know what they should have done this year? You should have moved off them in the offseason knowing you moved from Trey Lance and signed a veteran quarterback and freaking let Trey Lance play from week one. If this is going to be the outcome, you mismanaged the season anyway by playing. Should have let Jimmy go off. You mismanaged him. You told him you didn't love him. You told him all this stuff. You don't trust him in 2-minute drills. You have no urgency when it comes to clock management situations. You should have moved off them. So that caller is right about the mishandling of Jimmy Garoppolo. They have mishandled Jimmy Garoppolo, and it starts with Shanahan.
That I agree with, but you also have to have culpability of Jimmy Garoppolo here because Jimmy Garoppolo was drafted to replace Tom Brady. And what did Tom Brady do after Jimmy Garoppolo was drafted? Put on 3 of his best seasons in a row and went straight to the Super Bowl. Aaron Rodgers, they draft Jordan Love. What did he do? Had an MVP season. Like, Jimmy Garoppolo also shares some of the culpability. I do not think they've handled him properly.
Hold on.
Here's the part that
we can't mention Jimmy Garoppolo in the same breath as Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers when it comes to playing football half the time, and then all of a sudden saying, Aaron Rodgers stepped his game up.
That's the difference between those guys. That's the difference.
They're all-time greats.
Yeah, but that's
we know Jimmy Garoppolo's mediocre. So bringing in a quarterback like Trey Lance, you should have moved off him. He was already average. His confidence is already shattered.
That's where I'm going with this. Have you ever worked for somebody who knows they're on the way out the door? Like, I've had a manager, and like everyone knew, like, he's leaving to go to Connecticut, and everyone's like, I'm not going to listen to what that guy has to say. When you drafted Trey Lance, the other guys in the locker room over there looking, they're like, well, we know it's going to be Trey at some point. It's just difficult. And because he's not one of those Hall of Fame guys that absolutely commands everyone's respect, and because of all the different things that they've done to them, I think that this was a self-inflicted thing. And it finally came to being true, where it's just, they look very directionless right now. And now you're actually getting the worst of both things. Jimmy's playing good, but you're not winning. And you're still stuck in the same spot. Like, I don't know, man.
Let's go to Scott in Livermore. Scott in Livermore, what's happening?
What's happening, guys? I am just like, this defense is absolutely killing me. I know we're hurt at cornerback, but like, can we call the coach and just tell him to get the defensive line's hands in the air? Like, can we bat a ball down at the line of scrimmage? I see our guys chasing these quarterbacks outside the pocket, and never am I seeing a hand in the air to block a pass down. It's like defeating me. Our defensive coach is playing horrible. I know we got a bunch of holes in our defense, but like, from solid to this is absolutely horrible.
And that's what happens when you go cheap on the defense. Not DeMeco Ryan's fault. Doesn't have a lot of experience. It's his first year on the job. That was their stinker. That was probably their first stinker of the year.
Well, and to give DeMeco, again, I don't think he's been good in terms of, he's had moments, and then yesterday was awful. Look at what he's working with. They banked on Verrett having a healthy year, D Ford having a healthy year, Kinlaw, who was drafted, we knew he had a messed up knee, him having a healthy year, Drake Greenlaw being healthy for every single game. Like, they banked on a lot of hurt dudes. Tart has been hurt his whole career. You had 4 starters. You were like, you know what? If these guys stay healthy, and if my aunt was my uncle, like, it didn't come to fruition. Like, what's going on here? That isn't on the defensive coordinator, DeMeco Ryans. That's on personnel, and I keep going back to personnel because they're literally playing a bunch of people no one in the league would be playing.
Who's the personnel on?
It's on the coach because he has final say.
The guy who was hailed as the next Bill Walsh. So I mentioned how I don't want to hear Fred Warner Jr. mentioned in the same sentence as Patrick Willis and Navarro Bowman. I don't want to hear Shanahan mentioned with George Seifert, Bill Walsh, Mariucci, Jim Harbaugh ever again. He now needs to be mentioned with Mike Nolan. He now needs to be mentioned with those guys.
He's been better than Mike Nolan. I'll give him that.
He's had 1 year.
He's been better than Mike Nolan.
He's been better than Mike Nolan.
He's more than what Mike Nolan had.
Mike Nolan drafted better, though. Mike Nolan drafted better.
Well, he hit free agency better. Signing Justin Smith is better than anything the 49ers have done.
I'm saying. That's who we mentioned Shanahan with.
Although the Sherman deal was a pretty good one, but not as good as
Don't mention him with Harbaugh. Don't mention him with Mooch. Don't mention him anymore with
that
them.
8-8 year, all of the stuff with no Bowman for the whole year. Willis basically hurt the whole year.
One of Harbaugh's finest jobs.
Is one of the 8-8 year looks like the high water mark right now, looking back on it.
Anthony and Belmont. Anthony, what's happening?
Hey, fellas, what's going on?
I've had better days.
I feel good. Warriors are 8-1. Warriors are 8-1, Anthony.
Yeah, the Warriors are 8-1. They are lighting it up, and they're playing with joy, and they're playing with skill, and it's beautiful to see. But I got a couple of quick points about the 49ers that kind of tie into the Warriors. First thing about Jimmy, I don't want to beat it to death, but, I'm watching that game in the first quarter, second quarter, and, the game is still in the balance, and at key moments in that game, in key moments in games, I'll just be general about it, Jimmy just comes up short when the game is on the line.
Mm-hmm.
He gets all these, chunk yards when the game is over, but he takes the worst sacks. On the first drive, he's just missing guys. So I just think he just doesn't have what it takes to be great when the game demands it to be great.
No doubt.
That's what I'm going to say about Jimmy. But the larger point is about leadership with the 49ers. You said it, Bonte, 25 years, 6 winning seasons. What is the constant in those 25 years?
The Yorks.
4 letters, Y-O-R-K.
Yep.
To me, Jed York and the Yorks, they're the Chris Cohans of the 49ers.
Wow.
As long as they are steering that ship is going to keep running into the rocks and sinking. The Warriors, who you brought up, they were rudderless losers for decades because Chris Cohan was running that team, running that organization, and every coach he picked, every guy he hired stank because Chris Cohan didn't know what the hell he was doing, and that is the same thing, in my opinion, with the Yorks. As long as they are in charge, who's the coach, who's the GM, it's going to be the same thing over and over and over because the Yorks are not up to the task.
You know what? The Lakers make moves. Look at the Warriors right now, 8-1, sitting atop the NBA first in all these metrics. How about them Golden State Warriors? But if you're looking for all the best 49ers content from 95.7 The Game, text 49ers to 20357. That's 49ers to 20357. Make sure to hit the subscribe button in the Odyssey app or wherever you find your favorite podcast. This segment was also brought to you by Fremont Bank. Full-service banking, no compromises. And what's coming up on the game brought to you by BMW Fairfield. More of your calls. 49ers, Warriors, which way do you want to go? Is it on Shanahan? Is it on the defense? What went wrong yesterday against Colt McCoy and the Arizona Cardinals? And that's brought to you by BMW in Fairfield. Now open in the Fairfield Auto Mall, they provide a luxurious, all-encompassing experience to address all of your BMW needs. Visit BMWFairfield.com today to book your visit. That's BMWFairfield.com.
It was a brutal loss to the Cardinals at Levi's.
We didn't play very well today at all. I was real
1-17. Boy, it's been a lot of fun. I haven't this show made you feel a little bit better, Shasky?
No.
It hasn't?
No.
How come?
Because this.
Juice coming in talking about the Skunks are jealous of the 49ers because they stink so bad. We've had some great calls. Lori in Phoenix. We had great calls. Stinman. Dude, the Texans have been great. Gutter Trash.
Come on,
Roasters
dog.
on YouTube and Twitch. I'm smiling ear to ear. It's been fun.
So it's
what sports radio's about.
There was an interesting call. I forget who called right before we went to a little break there.
Oh, Anthony in Belmont.
He made a great point, and he was talking about Chris Cohan. Now, I think a lot of people forget, Chris Cohan was here when We Believe happened, right? Remember We Believe?
Yeah.
Any team can prop up. I don't care how bad the ownership is. Any team at any moment can come filing out of nowhere and have a great individual season.
One time, yep.
Right? Anyone could do it. Can you sustain success? Right? We see it all the time in every single industry. A product gets created, it comes flying to the top of the charts, and then that company is nowhere to be found 4, 5, 6, 7 years later, sometimes 5 months later.
Kind of like these Bitcoins. Like, they had like Sheep Coin or something like that last week. It blossomed up, and next thing you know, it fell. Stocks, basically.
Well, and so where we're at right now, like, the facts are the facts. The data is the data. Okay, you only have so many winning seasons, and I would say there's a lot of carryover from the prior ownership group because he's the one, Eddie DeBartolo, who hired Steve Mariucci. But when you look at their individual hires and what they've put out there, I mean, it's hard to sit here and say, oh, the Yorks have been fantastic owners. They haven't. And I think that they've done some really good things, and I think they've done a lot of bad things as well. And they've learned from some of their mistakes, and they've tried to overcorrect, and I give them credit for overcorrecting. But now you need to step in, and you need to find a way to tinker whatever the dynamic is between John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan, and you just got to tinker it. I'm not saying you got to fire Kyle Shanahan. I'm not here saying that you got to fire John Lynch. You need to add somebody into the mix who can pick better players. Start there.
Not only that. Well, what is Adam Peters doing there then? If he can't pick players, I thought Adam Peters was great at identifying talent.
Bonte, don't. When you agree,
what about play calling?
Whoever is in there, somebody needs to step back or take a seat or whatever, and they need to put someone else in position. Would you agree?
Yeah, I mean, 5-1-0. I feel like Bonte's enjoyed the Niners losing because people are blaming Shanahan now, so he feels he's done something right. Sponte doesn't feel as bad as about backing Jimmy G all these years, even though Jimmy G proving he was a big part of the problem. No, that's inaccurate. I want the 49ers to win. 49ers winning makes my life easier. Puts a smile on my face. That means more games. Mm-hmm. That means playoffs. That means big games. That means Monday night games. Mm-hmm. That means Sunday night games. That means primetime football games. Like the Rams. I'm looking at them, right? We always talk about McVay or Shanahan. And everybody got on me about saying McVay's a better coach than Shanahan. And I'm not here to say that I'm right about McVay or right about this, but you know what the Rams have done? They are consistent.
I agree.
They are consistent.
And they have a ownership philosophy of going all in. That's their philosophy.
Absolutely.
What is the 49ers philosophy?
I don't know what it is.
I'll tell you what it is.
I don't know what it is.
I'll tell you what it is. I'm worried about the next extension that we sign, and we need to save some money. Like, you're already hearing about it. Oh, I mean, we got to give Nick Bosa all this money down
No, you
the
don't.
line.
Not right now.
I mean, we got to carve out all this money. I mean, I don't. Man, 4 years from now when Trey Lance, wow, we got to carve out some money. It's always the next extension.
Well, forget the money and the extensions, and that's terrible. But this is, when everybody was calling me the head cheerleader to Jimmy Garoppolo fan club, it made me sick that our spoiled-ass fan base at times, our fan base can be really spoiled.
I agree.
And Jimmy Garoppolo came here on a 1-9 football team. Head coach was running out of answers, looking stressed. You lost 5 straight games by 3 points or less.
C.J. Beathard, the guy he wanted, looked terrible.
The guy you drafted in the 3rd round in the same draft as Mahomes and Watson.
Terrible.
Well, you don't need to go there again. We know where I stand on that one.
Is
you
he
know where
in
I stand
the
on
NFL?
that one. Who?
CJ?
He's playing with the Jaguars.
Oh, he's with the Jaguars.
He played yesterday.
Trent, huh?
Because Trevor Lawrence got hurt with an ankle and came back in the game. So CJ Beathard
I didn't even know
actually
that.
threw a deep ball.
Wow.
It was pretty damn good.
Oh, wow.
I remember the announcer said, it's going deep. Oh, what a pass. And I think a Jaguar, Agnew dropped it.
Oh, my God.
It was a
he
dime.
He threw a pass that almost got caught.
It was a dime. But, hey, how about that? He's throwing good passes. Earned their Urban Meyer and not Shanahan.
Yes.
Maybe Shanahan is the problem, but I'm not trying to go here and talk about Shanahan.
No, but
listen, hold on.
Something needs to change.
So, but look, yes, a lot needs to change. But the whole Jimmy thing, like, where Thin Man says he was mismanaged. They mismanaged the quarterback.
I agree with that.
If you didn't like the guy 3 years ago, if you didn't like the guy after the Super Bowl, move on. His contract was team-friendly to where you could have moved on. But yet you lie to everybody. You say, well, this is our guy, even though we've been transparent with him about flirting with Tom Brady and flirting with Kirk Cousins and all these guys. You should have moved on. That's what McVay does. That's what Belichick does. That's what good teams do. They move on and keep it moving, and they don't look back. You know what the 49ers do? They're always looking back. Oh, well, maybe we shouldn't have traded Buckner. Maybe we should have gave that money.
Maybe
we should have not traded him and kept Armstead and maybe franchise Buckner or franchise Armstead and keep Buckner for another year. They're always looking back. And we're always blaming somebody. Let's just call it like it is right now on a Monday morning, Shasky. This defense stinks.
Yes.
The D coordinator stinks.
Yes.
The offense stinks.
Yes.
They can't take care of the football.
No line.
The front office stinks. Mm-hmm. The personnel stinks. This is a bad football team. And you know what? You got no first-round picks over the next 2 years. Now, I would be confident if it was the Rams, because the Rams know how to operate without first-round picks. Do the 49ers know how to operate without first-round picks? I have no idea. The last 2 draft classes, Brandon Aiyuk and maybe Trey Lance. And we don't even know about Trey Lance yet.
Well, I would say Elijah Mitchell looks like a find.
Elijah Mitchell looks good.
And he looks like a find. And let's see if Diamond Lenore can get back out onto the field instead of the 2 folding chairs that they got out there in Norman and Kirkpatrick. I just look. The reality is, Bonte, they don't have enough playmakers, and they keep banking on injured players to have outlier healthy seasons. Like, that's bad business. That's bad business. Stop. We need to stop being in the D Ford business. Let's just start there. D Ford, stop banking on him. He's never returning to form. He's never going to be healthy.
I don't think they are. I don't think they are banking on D Ford.
Well, they need to move off
you know why?
They need to move off that.
You know why they're not? Because they signed Ebukam. And Ebukam hasn't done anything.
He stinks too.
They just traded for another guy from the Texans. All right? So they're not banking on D Ford.
Jimmy Ward, Tart, and Verrett, not multi-year deals. Jimmy Ward's the only one with a multi-year deal, but they keep giving guys that do have histories of getting hurt. They give them contracts. Right. These guys continue to stay hurt. Like, that's bad business to me. And then they look at the right guard position. You have a pocket quarterback. You've struggled to find a right guard. Your right tackle. We haven't even talked about McGlinchey. McGlinchey hurts his knee, and you got Tom Compton out there. He looks. I was like, can Anthony Davis come out of retirement for the 7th time and go play right tackle? Is that what we're at?
Not a good football team right now. 3-5. Even though, if you want a positive, folks, on a Monday.
What are they, one game out of a playoff?
One game out of the wild card. One game out of the wild card. You beat the Rams next week, and then you got the Jaguars.
They're always one game out of a playoff.
One game out of a playoff
That was the
spot.
Mike Nolan calling card. We're only one game out of a playoff run.
Let's go to Willem Marin. Willem Marin, what's happening? You're on the roast.
Hey, guys, thanks for taking my call. Always appreciate it. I'm going to bring up to light something that Bonte's been saying for weeks, and it really stood out yesterday. You let a Kyler Murray-less, DJ Hopkins-less Cardinals come in and smack you in the mouth on your home turf. Why? Because Bonte's been saying it for weeks. They're not playing physical. It looked like a single-floor sandcastle against high tide. It eats away, and then the floodgates are open. James Conner hadn't looked like that since 2018 when he was healthy, when he was younger, and he was in that Steelers offense. He put up 173 yards and 3 touchdowns, and he made it look effortless. It literally looked like he was taking candy from a baby. And I'm sorry, it's easy to harp on Jimmy Garoppolo, but Trey Lance isn't going to stop John Connor from faking off a 45-yard touchdown catch. He's not going to stop Connor from getting chunks of 25 yards. And I've been saying this for the whole year. I don't understand why you wouldn't have given $5 million more to keep Buckner and let Armstead go. It makes no sense. If you look at a lot of the great linebackers in the world, they had sick defensive tackles to hold up people. So the defensive threats and skill guys can make their plays. Even Ray Lewis had Tony Siragusa, Casey Hampton. He had a lot of people helping him out. And I'm just saying,
Sam Adams, Haloti Ngata. Yeah, that's a great point.
Great point, Will. They got rid of that guy.
And they've spent bad money. I mean, Ibukam over Kendrick Bourne. You tell me right now, does this offense, could they use a Kendrick Bourne?
Looks like it to me.
I mean, all he did was catch touchdowns and complete third down completions.
By the way, apparently Trey Sermon, somebody on Twitch.
What are they saying?
On Twitch. Trey Sermon just unfollowed the 49ers on IG, took them out of his bio. I don't know what that means, but Trey Sermon's fed up. He's fed up because there's games being played down there in Santa Clara. It's too much of this stuff.
Well, I mean,
Javon
Kinlaw's tweeting out stuff, and Aiyuk. It's a nightmare. This is worse than the 8-8 season with Harbaugh.
Though? This is what happens
in terms of all the toxicity.
This is what happens when you perpetrate as an organization. The Warriors, the Giants, they win championships. They go about their business and win championships. All right? The Warriors have won championships. You see them being arrogant or cocky or saying this guy is a liar and you're hard-headed. No, they handle their business in a classy way. The 49ers are perpetrators. We saw them in training camp the way they carry themselves. They carry themselves like they won 2 Lombardis in the last 3 years. They won nothing. Nothing.
Cliff Kingsbury and Colt McCoy dismantled them yesterday. And again, James Conner, he's right. He hasn't been good for 3 years. Here's from Gutter Trash B. You got to love this. Can we sign Jordan Matthews for the 10th time and play him at right guard?
Wow.
But that's where we're at. It's the same guys over and over and over. Shanahan's guys. You got to get Shanahan's guys out there. It's a nightmare. Like what this season has become.
You know what's not a nightmare?
It's just a nightmare. And if you're looking for us, we're on Twitch. Search 957 The Game. People are asking what's the Twitch channel. Search 957 The Game. We're also on YouTube. Search 957 The Game. Or you can listen to us on the Odyssey app as well. Download that bad boy. AUDACY.
You said yesterday was a nightmare?
Mm-hmm.
Well, a dream just came true.
What's that?
Because Robin has called the roast back.
Oh, good.
Robin,
no, let me set this up. Robin, I just want to say before you come on, I apologize for being mean to you. A couple weeks ago, it was completely out of line. I was having a bad day like I am today. That doesn't exonerate me. It's not an excuse. I'm saying that I was completely out of line and very mean, and I apologize, and I hope you can accept my apology, Robin.
Robin, you there?
Am I on the air?
Yeah, you're there. And I wanted to apologize. I'm not sure if you heard me.
I am not one to, I guess as I get older, I am not one to always just blame and point the finger at things. I do believe that success starts from the top down. I do believe that. And so I understand why Cal Shanahan and maybe even Jimmy, not yesterday, but get the blame for everything because the quarterback is the leader and the head coach is the leader. But I think it's an organizational thing. I think that I told you, Bonte, I think that part of the problem is the way they choose personnel is like how you choose Campbell soup in the soup line, Safeway, the two for one, and you try to mix match what's the best deal, and this is the result. I will say this, that the best laid plans of mice and men don't always work out, and he didn't have. He can't adjust. He doesn't. He's at wit's end. The line is not good enough to cover the secondary. The quarterback is not good enough to cover the flaws when the run game doesn't work. So maybe it's time to look at things differently and reorganize. But I do believe that starts with York, and I just don't believe he has the balls enough to do it. I'm not saying fire anyone, but I mean, you got to look at your scouting department. You got to look at everything, not just the head coach. What are you doing wrong? And so I don't have the answer to that. I just wanted to bring that perspective. The last thing I want to say is about the Warriors, right? Everybody loves you when you're winning, okay? But as soon as you start losing, and that's part of the problem why I get annoyed. So right now they're winning because the schedule was really easy for them to win. And when they start hitting the tougher games, I want to see how people are going to sound. I will say this. Kerr is a great example of what I'm talking about. He went out and he revamped his player development. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And then
Good call.
And then Myers went out and he addressed the needs of vets, and they did what they could. This is something that I think that the Niners could. Last thing, Shasky, I wanted to say to you, I accept your apology. I want to say to you, we're so used to Curry offensively doing, 20, 30, whatever, 40 points. But I think, and I made this point to Nick Friedel on Saturday, whatever day they're on the show, that he's been like 7, 10 rebounds, steals, and blocks, and that he seems to be exerting himself and putting more effort on the defensive end like never before. And I'm just wondering, and a lot of his shots, more than usual, are hitting the rim, which means weakness in your legs. So I'm just kind of wondering if that has something to do with him not shooting at the rate that we're used to seeing him shoot.
Good stuff, Robin. Good to hear from you. Good to hear from you here on the road. Speaking of Curry. Yeah, it's time for the Steph Curry 3-point update brought to you by Masterclass. Steph has made 43 threes so far this season. And let me tell you, he hasn't even gone off yet. Hasn't even gone off. He had one game against the Clippers where he scored 45, but he hasn't gone nuclear yet like he usually does. So that's a good sign for the Golden State Warriors. And plus, he's not playing heavy minutes. It's a good thing. Not playing heavy minutes. 27 yesterday against the Rockets. Didn't have to play in the fourth quarter. Steph Curry, Warriors starting off well. Masterclass lets you learn from over 100 world-class instructors anytime, anywhere, and at your own pace. Get 15% off your annual membership at masterclass.com/thegame. Warriors playing well, 8-1. Take on the Hawks today. 5:30 pregame starts with Rattle and Bruce. DB, that's Damon Bruce, in case you didn't know. Let's take these calls. Bobby in Los Altos. What's happening?
Hey, guys. It's really nice to talk to you. I'm very disappointed. I'm a 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock caller, so now I don't get the opportunity to speak with my two favorite radio hosts.
Oh.
You know what, Bobby? Don't even get me started. But I miss you, too. I'm glad you can call at 8:52 here.
Change the school hours, and then maybe I'll be able to call in a little quicker. But hey, so this is what I want to say. I know it's very popular now. It sounds like Lynch and Shanahan are good talent evaluators, but I actually think they made some pretty good draft picks. Warner, Kittle, Bosa, Mitchell looks like a good kid. But I think the real problem is if he's the one making the draft picks, why isn't he using them? I actually think they got good players, right? Yeah. Aiyuk seems like a talented player. Trey Sermon, we don't know, but I mean, let's give him a chance. But the fact is, if he's making the personnel decisions, then he should be using them. Because I actually think they're good players. It's one thing if the GM picks players and the coach says, you know what, maybe I don't think this player fits my system, but I know you chose, quote-unquote, the best available. But what's just so disturbing is that he's making the personnel decisions and then deciding that it doesn't fit his system or style, or there's some sort of, whatever we want to say, attitude problem. So that, to me, is the worst thing. So I think we got to get off the whole point of, in my opinion, he doesn't choose good players.
So let's break this down, Bobby. And good call. I appreciate it. Let's break this down. there is no denying. Their first, second, and third round picks have not been good. If you just stagger them up with everyone else in the league, you're not going to hit on all of them. They're batting like 25%, which is, I would say, 25% lower.
Baseball equivalent, 180? Are you batting to Joey Gallo?
You're
Are
under
you Joey
that.
Gallo?
At least Joey Gallo hits jacks, you know what I'm saying? And steals some bases and might win you a gold glove. Like, they're not hitting at a rate you need to. Right now, the only second-round picks to not play a snap this year are Aaron Banks, who has been a healthy inactive, basically, for 7 out of 8 games, and 2 guys who were hurt. That's it. Now, your third-round pick, Aubrey Thomas, can't even get on the field. Trey Sermon had 1 good carry, fumbled. Haven't seen him for weeks on end. He's on a milk carton. You iced out Dante Pettis. Javon Kinlaw looks like he's got a chronic knee injury. I don't know if he's going to be any good. Like, we'll see there. All your first-round picks for your first draft, they're off the team right now in Solomon Thomas and Reuben Foster. Mike McGlinchey, is that looking like a great first-round pick? Is
Not
it?
looking good, but you know what? They missed him yesterday.
No, I agree.
They missed him
But
yesterday.
that's how bad this offensive line is in general, that Mike McGlinchey's one of their better ones.
You know, 510 saying you don't put grown men in the doghouse. You might do that in high school, but you can't do that with grown men who makes millions of dollars. And that whole Aiyuk
there's something
thing,
there.
It is there. Unless you're Belichick or Parcells, but they don't mess around with their talented players like that. They're not just going to bench their talented players like that. Well, like that doesn't happen. There's something weird going on with that.
Well, and like on this, I agree with you on that. And when you invest a high pick in someone in the NFL, this is not the NBA. This is not like Jalen Green's going to take 2 or 3 years to get ready. Kuminga is going to take 2 or 3 years to get ready. The Dallas Cowboys completely reshaped their defense in 2 drafts.
Yep.
They hit on 2 picks.
Yep.
Diggs, and they hit on Micah Parsons, and they look phenomenal. And then they added CeeDee Lamb to the mix. They nailed 3 picks and have completely changed where they're at. That's how it works. That's how it works in the NFL. You nail a couple of picks and boom, you're not going to hit all of them. But if you nail a couple of picks, you could change everything that you've got going on.
So the Niners have 2 players remaining from their 2017 draft.
Kittle
and DJ Jones.
Okay, and he was okay yesterday.
He was okay.
Trotted off the field and then came back.
2018, you got 3 players left. Marcel Harris, Fred Warner.
And Fred Warner's a great pick.
And Mike McGlinchey.
Yeah.
All right. Next draft, you had Nick Bosa, Deebo Samuel, Wisnowski,
2 great picks.
Greenlaw. School's not here.
Yeah, School was hurt his ACL, and I believe he had an injury settlement.
That's right. Tim Harris, gone. Yeah. Caden Smith, gone.
Yeah.
Jalen Hurd. Can't get on the football field. 2020 draft. Kinlaw, Aiyuk, McKivitz, gone. Charlie Warner, Jawan Jennings, Like, it's not good.
And then I look at Rondale Moore, who's the second-round pick. Aaron Banks doesn't play yesterday. Rondale Moore, the guy on the Cardinals, is balling right now for them. Even when he doesn't touch the ball, he is forcing defenses to honor him on every single play. The way Cliff Kingsbury is utilizing him is genius.
Like, again,
he's a stud.
Again, a texter, and this is spot on. Can Shanahan, do you really trust Shanahan with coaching up Trey Lance? You look at what New England's doing with Mac Jones.
They're making they're making that situation look phenomenal.
Mac Jones is going to be playing in a playoff game this year.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Patriots are going to the playoffs.
And he's gotten better every week.
He's gotten better now. He only threw the ball 18 times yesterday.
He only needed
12, 139 yards, but they play complimentary football. They run the football. They throw it timely passes. And Mac Jones can run a 2-minute drill. Mac Jones is going to be playing in the playoffs. 49ers probably not. Let's go to Brandon in Los Gatos before we get to the crossover.
What's up, guys?
What's up?
How are you going to charge $150 for parking and you haven't won a home game in over a year? I mean, come on. And then yesterday, Ryans had no answer for Colt McCoy. Colt freaking McCoy, come on.
I know.
And then you give James Conner the first 3-touchdown game of his career. What are we making him look like, Marshall Faulk?
Man.
I'm out.
He made 2 sick catches, one-handed catches too. And then he's just running. Here's the thing. It's one thing if he would have broke like 15 tackles. It's another when you don't even square a guy up. Can someone step in front and make a tackle?
This was on the third play of the second half yesterday with the Niners down 17-7.
Pressure coming. McCoy rush. Floats it out to Conner. Blockers in front. First down and more. Conner turning on the speed. Looking over his shoulder. Nobody's going to catch him. It's a touchdown. 45 yards for James Conner. Third time today that he's found the
You hear those boos?
Yeah, what happened with the boos yesterday?
So, luckily, the Niners scored right before halftime. So, there weren't a lot of that. But you heard there at the end of the James Conner run, there were some boo birds. And then when Eno Benjamin did this.
On 2nd and 5, this is Eno Benjamin. A little hop step, and he trucked Dre Kirkpatrick and takes it in for the touchdown. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my goodness. I felt so bad for Dre Kirkpatrick's family. They had to watch that. He's going to have to watch that in the film room. Got trucked. Truck stick. So things aren't looking good for the 49ers, yet they're one game out of the wild card. No, I'm doing it. Because Shasky, if they win next week, you're going to do it.
That's factually correct. So let's
just flip-flop. I did this after the Colts game.
I know.
You ripped my head off.
You're accurate.
You did it last week. You backed up the truck. Right. So we're going to do it every week. They're one game out of the wild card spot.
Bonte, I can't take you serious. This is just, I'm being real. Like, yes, the facts are the facts. You're one game out. I can't take you serious when you're down 31-7 to a quarterback named Colt McCoy, who's been in the league forever and looked like John Elway out there, moving out of the pocket, throwing the ball down the field. Cliff Kingsbury was 2 steps ahead of the 49ers at every single turn. Their offensive line got caved in. That's just bad. Even their playmakers are out there doing too much, fumbling. It's just bad.
We're getting to the point to where we gotta ask ourselves: is Shanahan more Norv Turner than he is head coach?
I didn't want to believe that.
No, I know you
I don't know. I don't have an answer.
Shanahan's not looking good right now.
Ask these guys. Ask Willard and Dibbs. They just walked into the studio.
I got Willard and Dibbs. Good morning. Welcome to the roast.
Good morning.
Dibbs and Willard from 9 to 12. And look, I argued with this guy, Kate Scott, when she was here. And, I called a Rams fan because I said, Sean McVay does things right.
They look good last night, too.
I mean, they looked terrible last night. They looked terrible last night.
You want to be a Rams fan? I think it feels the same.
Hey, no, it doesn't. They're 7-2.
Yeah.
They're going to the playoffs.
Yep.
They have hope.
Yeah, they look really good. And they have a veteran quarterback who's playing, well, not last night, but was playing really good. He was in MVP conversation.
What about the 49ers? They don't look good, as you are listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ FM, in HD1 San Francisco and Odyssey Station. Brought to you by DuckDuckGo. Privacy Simplified, 9 a.m. hour of Willard and Dibbs, brought to you by our good friends at Timeless Coffee.
We're going to get into the entertainment aspect of this because Mark he's so astute. I've gotten to know him better now.
Thanks,
I've known him
Dibbs.
for 15 years,
that,
but
man.
he said something to me earlier on our call that struck me. Every time there's a game, one team's going to lose. And I had to step back.
Whoa.
I had to think about the depth of the statement.
This is the stuff that goes on in my mind. Oh. It's a complicated place. Remember that movie, Beautiful Mind?
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot going on up here underneath this
Thanks,
hat.
Coach Carter.
Everything but the calculus with this guy. But he's absolutely
with the guy mind blown.
Totally. There's brain everywhere.
I was thinking the Zagakis guy
in the NFL and still win.
Yeah, I was thinking about Pulp Fiction where he accidentally shooting, and there's brain everywhere. Why am I back here picking up brain?
That's what my house looks like.
Yes,
brains.
But the greater
everywhere.
point, gentlemen, is that it's okay to lose because teams are going to lose. But when you lose like that, where your defense is poorly positioned and you got beat by Connor and McCoy. It's like a law firm from Oklahoma City. The firm of Connor and McCoy. They came in and they owned you without their 3 best players. That is where the problem is, and that's where we're going to start.
Yeah, it's a bad product. It's not just a bad loss. It's not just the football side of this. Like I can be here and have been here, as we all have been, for watching these teams go through sometimes understandable situations. We've been doing that the whole Kyle Shanahan era. Oh, there's injuries. Well, what now? A team that was decimated beyond decimated just walked in and did what they did to you. So this wasn't just about losing a game. This was a bad product. Like it looks disjointed. It's not entertaining.
What are they good at?
You talk injuries.
Not much.
We're looking at the screen right now. Derrick Henry's out for the Titans.
Out for
their best player.
For the year,
what do they do? Travel cross country, go to LA, and smack the Rams up.
Yep.
Like I'm tired of the injuries.
But what are they good
That's
at?
done.
But what are they good at?
The 49ers?
Not much, but I will tell you this:
suckering us to go to the games.
Who was? I'll let you guys see if you can guess what's in this big, beautiful brain of mine.
Oh yeah.
Who was the 49er who annoyed me the least yesterday?
No, Jimmy Garoppolo.
Jimmy Garoppolo.
That's fine.
For 2 straight weeks.
Yeah, but where's that getting
For 2
you?
straight
But
weeks.
where's that getting
It's
you?
not that it's getting anywhere, and if your opinion today is that you want to move in
No one
Trey
said
Lance.
that.
No, but for anyone.
Oh.
If you want to move in Trey Lance today, I understand your thought process based on, this season isn't going anywhere, maybe you just get him some experience. If anybody thinks that's the fix...
No, but here's the fix. See, you're missing. There's nuance here. There's a salary cap, and once you get that $26 million, boy, it'd be nice to not have 2 folding chairs at corner.
That's fine.
That's next year, though.
I know, I agree.
But you know what?
Right now, you can't expose Trey Lance to the beating that Daniel Brunskill will provide.
Let me say,
and Tom Compton.
2 straight weeks.
How bad was
2
that?
straight weeks. I did not think for 1 second that they should have played Trey Lance. The $26 million with Garoppolo, it's the Niners' fault. You told everybody for 3 years that you didn't like the guy. You should have moved off.
It's also fine, though.
It's
also fine. We just talked about the Rams. The salary cap is wet toilet paper.
Not for the Niners.
Yes, it is.
How? They moved their best player, DeForest Buckner, because of a couple bucks.
Yes, they did. However, we also watched them go into last year and go, boy, we've only got $20 million in cap space, and that's not even enough to get Trent Williams. And then they kept Trent Williams and K'Wan Williams and Jason Barrett, and every single free agent we talked to, they kept them all. The Los Angeles Rams find room for any acquisition they want.
This is the
salary cap is constantly manipulatable.
Yeah.
I agree,
and
but
so
they don't
this is-
operate that way.
Well,
And the Rams
then
do
start
this.
operating
Look
that
at the
way.
top 10.
Actually, they do operate that way.
You got to look at it because the top 10 players for the Rams are literally their top 10 players. Jalen Ramsey, Aaron Donald, Stafford. You go right down the list. Cooper Kupp, all their best players. The top 10 highest paid 49ers, I would argue 7 of them are horrific contracts. And so they've spent bad money.
What are the horrific contracts?
D Ford, Eric Armstead, Mike McGlinchey. Just go right down the list. Jimmy Garoppolo, like $27 million on a quarterback who's mediocre and losing games.
Yeah.
That's not going to cut it.
No, I'm not disagreeing with you, but I'm also not allowing them to use it as an excuse. You in the NFL, I've learned this now, especially I've actually had conversations about this with people on the inside organizations the last 2 years. You may not use that anymore as to why we can't do X and we can't do Y and we can't do Z.
No, I agree with you philosophically.
Every single day of the week, it is able to be manipulated, and you can do whatever it is you need to do. And so if anyone's hiding behind that, they're pulling the wool over.
Where you guys at on Shanahan? Where you at on Shanahan?
Well, that's not the
It's
place
a
to go
non-starter
right now.
because
Yeah,
he's got 4 more years. So,
But is he good?
Well, he might be Dennis Allen. He might be North Turner. He might be a 4A player, as I use a baseball analogy. But he's going to have time to. He's going to have time to either dig out of it or dig deeper into it because they're not going to let him go now.
And I actually think he should. Like, if you ask me as a fan, yes, I want to see Kyle Shanahan have the opportunity to dig out of this. He built it up. It went well. Now it fell back down. That's on him. I do want to see if he can save it or not.
Doesn't he need to have someone come in and... I think they need some other person from outside the building to come in and look at the roster and help them pick players at the very least.
Tupac had a song called Changes, and when you play this, when you've lost 5 of 6 and you clearly need things to change, you need to make changes. But the GM and the coach aren't it, and the QB is it, but not right away. There are other things like, by the way, Josh Norman should never be in the red and gold again. That should be a wrap after that.
Gone.
So there are changes that they're going to make, but
what was that?
Joe Shanahan's going to get the rest of this year and all of next year before they even think. Jed York finally got out of that cycle of, Tom Sula and the chipper who went 2-14. He found a guy who can do it. Whether or not they're doing it the right way with the right construct, they have to make changes because their draft picks aren't playing, their free agents are misses, and you find yourself in mediocre.
Before we leave the studio, got to play this for you one time. You talk about Josh Norman not being in red and gold.
God.
Will Drake Kirkpatrick be in red and gold after this play?
On 2nd and 5, this is Eno Benjamin. A little hop step, and he trucked Drake Kirkpatrick and takes it in for the touchdown. Oh my goodness!
So guys,
little Kevin Kugler.
Little Kugler.
You guys ever watch?
That's one of those where you're just like, oh dear. Like it's not even I'm mad as a fan. I just feel bad. You're like Drake Kirkpatrick. How do you?
No, it's
like you got to go to the facility today.
That's like Oubre Jr. getting dunked on by GP2.
Yes.
Same kind of vibe.
So did you guys ever get those year in review tapes back in the day? It'd be like
always
the 7-9 Denver Broncos year in review. Drake Kirkpatrick will be on the opposite end of highlight highlights for every single team's year in review from here until the rest of the year he plays. It's
Benjamin is a smaller third string back. Young guy out of
Went
ASU.
right through him.
ASU forks up,
hot
baby.
knife through
Forks
butter.
up, Spadone. Forks up. We
Hey,
got
big
forks
win,
up,
by the way,
and we
for
got horns
ASU
up.
over USC.
And we got
I was
horns
down
up.
in the state of Arizona. They were fired up.
USC's 4-5.
They're terrible. That quarterback stinks.
Let's talk Cal and Stafford. Huh?
I was at the Cal game. Oh, my God.
You went to that?
My niece is a freshman in Arizona, and we went to go visit her for
The game shouldn't have
homecoming.
even been played.
Hey, honestly,
Roxy Bernstein had to call it. Oh, Roxy.
Oh, they were just begging for a touchdown. I was there. I was doing the highlight desk for Pac-12 the whole game.
I watched the whole thing. I sat in like 100-degree heat. My wife almost passed out. The good thing is they serve alcohol in the stadium. Don't know if you know that.
The field goal goes through the uprights in the third quarter. Roxy's call was, what's the guy's name? Tyler Loop?
Yeah.
He goes, Tyler Loop, it's up. Points! That was his call. He was just begging. Look, somebody score.
They're down to their fourth-string quarterback, and I swear to God, they sent an email out the second week of school. Anyone who wants to try out for the football team can.
Geez.
They had invincibility open tryouts.
Hey, the Warriors are 8-1. They take on the Hawks today. I'm not mad on a Monday. Neither is Willard and Dibs. Are coming up until 12 o'clock. We'll be back tomorrow morning. Thanks for everybody on Twitch and YouTube and all the callers and texters. Have a good day, everybody.